I had those days when all of us pray before we go and we look at each other because we might not come back. Because I know some guy left already, didn't come back. Because I knew every day that I'm going to go step on an IED.
All right.
And it happened to me.
Hey everyone, welcome back to episode number 12 of the Not So Special Forces podcast. Today is fantastic. I got a wonderful guest that's in-house. Can't wait to get him introduced to you. He has quite an incredible story of his life and his service, and I am proud and honored that he has chosen me to sit down with to talk about his life and talk about his service. So let's go ahead and get you introduced to episode's 12's guest, Oday Almamoori. Oday, thanks for being here today.
Thank you very much.
This is an honor and my pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
You know, I've known you now about 5 years now? We've known each other? I've been here about 6, maybe 5, 6 years.
Yeah.
And you and I have done a lot of talking in the past about things. We have similar worldviews about stuff. And I think you and I, with you having the life that you have growing up and then coming here to the United States, and then with me traveling the world as much as I have, I think you and I have got different but similar experiences and perspective on things. So the conversations you and I have had about global politics and global conflict, you're one of the better guys that I have in my life right now to talk about such things, man. So to have you here and to talk, to have this conversation today is just fantastic. So thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for having me, actually. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to.
All right, man. So let's get this going. Let's talk about where you're from, where you grew up, and we'll just take it from there.
Well, I tell you, it's gonna be very interesting. So, I mean, I grew up in the Middle East, specifically in Iraq. So I born in Baghdad, Iraq, and then I was a kid when the war started over there. So early childhood, right away, the war between Iraq and Iran, which just took like 8 years. So I seen all the war. I grown up during all the war, and then I went to school. The country was under dictatorship, so Saddam Hussein and all that. But during the 80s was different from the 90s. The 90s is where things start getting a little harder, because in the 80s, everything was still organized, kind of like the country still in, okay. But when Desert Storm hit in 1990, that's when things start changing, because United States used to be a friends with Iraq, and the Iraqis was fighting the Iranians. But after the invasion of Kuwait, things changed. United States just become the enemy. So things start, going really unilateral instead of being bilateral. So, and then at this time, I was already, during Desert Storm, I remember I was in middle school. So I saw big parts of it. So I understand. I used to watch the F-14 at that time. There was no 18, no 16 yet.
Right. Yeah, just 14.
I used to see them, how they come in. And then there was an army base close to where I live. When you hear the sirens for the Air Force coming in and the raids and all that, we go to the rooftop. Because, we were pretty kind of crazy kids. We seen a lot of war. It's something normal.
Yeah, what's another jet in the air, right?
Exactly. So people goes over there, they built kind of like Mexico. So everything's is concrete, and then build up on like a very high houses and separate houses, just like here, but they don't use this material. They use concrete and brick. So you go every house has a very high rooftop. And then you go there and you watch what's going on. You will see the firefight between the air defense and then all that. So I remember a lot of stuff, man. I was like seeing, you'll see the jet just open the bottom piece, and then you start seeing the bombs coming down, and then you'll see them hitting everywhere. So it was very actually interesting. I grew up in very decent family. Like over there is just being rich or money or whatever. Nobody care. You know how the culture there. So it's your reputation. So it starts from your mom and dad and how they grow the kids. And then it is very different completely from here, but it's very good because they teach you a lot of stuff. When you come here, you stand out because you're going to be, learn all the basics, respect for people and all that. So you'll see, I had a big family. I was the baby. You're probably not going to believe this because my mom and dad has 12 kids.
Wow. 12 kids.
Exactly. And then, my dad, my uncles has almost the same number. We're very big.
Good.
that name I have is a very big tribe over there. Later, I will tell you, when I went back again deployed, I never said my name because everybody gonna know it.
If you go there with a different name tape on,
Exactly.
right?
Well, you know what? Like,
No Oday Almamoori, you're
go
running
with
around as John
my.
Smith.
No, I have a Hawk was my nickname.
Oh, yeah?
That's it. Funny. Like everybody got used to it. So, but yeah, I tell you, my family that we were 7 sisters and 5 brothers. Yeah, and then my brothers, three of them were actually full-time military. They were officers, and then my dad was just a decent guy, like kind of like a middle class man, but he put us all in school. So like all my brothers went to college. I went to college. My sisters, all of them went to college. Nobody of us. So whatever they tell you here, oh no, women don't. No, all my sisters went to college and they don't have to cover their hair. It's not what you watch in the movies. So
Right.
that's the things is when I came here, I found a lot of people. It's actually, I don't want to say they ignorant, but they just misinformed about.
Well, they only know what they know.
Exactly.
They only know what they see, right?
A lot of people, and then when you ask them, and then, they come to you and they ask you, hey, so you came from there. Okay, what do you guys know? Let me know so I can know your baseline. He's like, we know this. Oh, we know this.
Everyone's running camels.
And they start telling me like, oh, this and this and this and this. And I'm kind of drawing the picture in my mind. Okay, you just explaining a movie that I watched, to me, it was like, it's not like this. But I was happy, to tell the people, and people said, really? I thought, yeah, it's not like this. Yeah, things start really getting interesting after 1991. The economic siege and sanctions and all that.
Yeah, let me ask you about that. So growing up, you had a decent middle-class upbringing there, right?
Yeah,
except the war every now and then, you guys running up and checking the jet. The fighters, hitting strikes and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But what was day-to-day life with you there?
Well, for us, like we don't have, I don't know, like we have options, but it was basic. Remember, we didn't have any cell phones.
Right.
We didn't have any, my first time I played PlayStation was like, I don't remember, like 1998, 1991 when the PlayStation 1 came out.
Right.
And then there was, the phone that you grab and then
dial, the rotary phones.
And if your friends has a 0 and the number, you're not going to dial it because you got to dial and you wait for it. So, and then later it got the buttons. And so pretty much the daily was, we were all into the school because they teach you since you get into school at age of 6. And believe it or not, the school district come in every summer, look for the kids. And then the actually principals and teachers, they will do teams and come in every neighborhood. The school district will spot the kids and, hey, what's old are you? What's your date of birth? We all know our date of birth because we all know our birthdays. So, okay, that's my date. Okay. I remember that one guy and one girl told me, hey, how old are you? I was just coming close to turning 6. So by October 1st, you have to be registered. So they told me, oh, can you go inside and call your dad? So I went and called my dad, and then my dad came out and said, oh, I already registered him. Don't worry about him. Because my dad was all about his school. We also he was teaching us a lot of things. So I did actually went to the school at exactly the legal age for the government, which was 6 years old. And then I moved in through the school. So my daily was pretty much go to the school and come back from the school, finish our homework. I like to do that. I like to do all the hard stuff first. And I'm still doing the same habit until now. I finish everything and then I can go play. And we play like over there when we were younger, we don't play that much crazy stuff, but usually soccer is the main one. And I remember everybody was about a sport. So we go around, we play majority of the time soccer, and then we just come back and have dinner and then sleep and wake up and do it again. And that's like for 9 months. So you start in October until the next May or January. June. And then you break after the final, you take a final test, and then you break from July, August, and September, and you go back in October. So this is like the summer holiday. That's what you get to do whatever you want.
Now, those people coming into your house from the school, were they just doing accountability, making sure all the students or making sure all the kids were enrolled, or were they actually like doing a draft where they say, okay, you're going to be in this class, you're going to be with this teacher, or was it just for accountability?
No. So this is how it works. So they coming in to make sure enroll you in the school. because over there, the Minister of Education had a big campaign to everything's free. So it is the competition going on based on your effort.
Okay.
So you go to the it's elementary school, middle school, and high school. So you got 6 years in the elementary school. So from grade 1 to 6. And then you finish a grade 6, you take a central test. So it's not your teacher will teach you. You run through the school, but they will teach you all the books and all that. But your questions and test comes from the Minister of Education. And then you get test out at a different time. They will give you a break to study.
Okay.
And then you go to the test and you finish and you graduate and you go to middle school. You'll take middle school. It's also 3 years. So you'll take the first grade middle school, second. At the third, you're going to go through the same motion, which you study everything with your teacher in your school, but your final test comes in from the Minister of Education. And then you graduate from there and you go up to the high school. High school, you go first, which is like a kind of near high, and then you go middle, and then you go high school, the final one. You study the first year of high school, general study for everything. When you get to the middle, you'll have option to go more of scientific or more of like art. So pretty much you study language and you study English and you study, you're still studying math, but you shift to study history and study geography and stuff like that. That's one majority of people.
So it's like an academic, it's like an academia route, and then like a trades route.
Exactly. So yeah, but the science route will take you physics and biological stuff and chemistry, mechanical and math.
Okay.
So it's coming the math and all the stuff. And you still study in the basics. So you still both parts still study in math, English, and Arabic. You gotta have those three. The only other 4 or 5 subjects will come up from different.
Okay.
And then the last year, you're going to take the final test. That's the one could actually identify your future because you take that test, they will give you 2 months break to study. Because when you go to that test, you only have 7 subjects to test. So 7 tests. You take them and you graduate. It could be not, you don't graduate, you might gonna repeat it. What they do is it's central questions comes in again from the Minister of Higher Education. At the morning of the test is the police move that because it comes in sealed, and every principal comes into the school has to remove the seal in front of the students.
Legit.
Exactly. And then you go test, you cannot test in your school. You have to go somewhere else. So I remember I walked like freaking 2-3 miles and I had to leave an hour early just to get to what I was taking the test.
Right.
And it was very interesting because if you score there, then they're going to put all your scores. You fill up an option card, whatever you want, and then you give it to the school and the school will send it out. And it's kind of like a voting system. They will dump it in some machines linked to a computer, and the computer will choose what college you go to or university. So if you score better, that's what if you score over 90 and you sign, you're going somewhere medical, either pharmacist or like you're going to go to the College of Medicine. So if you score, I remember I was like, and it was really hard to get to that because I study a lot and I touched the 82. I got the 82 and I was one of my high school. There was a guy
82 number 1.
82 number 1 because it's really hard. But you know what? When you look at your scores, some of them goes up like this and some of them goes down like that. So I remember my English was 94 at the time because I was very good at English. Arabic is is the hardest language you can study. I think I touched a little bit 89 or 90, which is not a lot of people can get it because there's so much complication in it, even if you speak the Arabic. But when you go to the academic portion of it and you take a test, it's just
difficult.
It's difficult. But when you get to that, you're still comfortable because I put into what I wanted and then I went to law school.
Law school.
Exactly. And I finished it. I graduated and then I got out and I actually got a license.
So what year was this that you finished it and then went to law school and got your license?
Yeah. So when you...
what year was that for you?
I graduated in 2000.
2000?
Yes. Look, it was a couple of years before the war.
Okay.
Yeah, before the 2003 one, the invasion.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's like this is how the system works. So everybody, gets to get his chance. So it's your effort. If you study and score, that's when you go back to your day. That's why everybody's trying to, hey, you don't have nothing. You can play. I had some friends, they used to shave their head, so they don't go out. What did you do? Oh man, I just shaved my head, so I don't get out there. Go play whatever. So it was kind of like very interesting, but it's completely different, culture, and then not only the culture, but it's different to grow up under a government culture like that. There's a lot of advantages in it, and there's a lot of kind of like disadvantage in it because you kind of like, yeah, you're not that much free, but you also get that stuff that it build your, help you out in a
Right.
life, and you don't have to struggle through it. And they're trying to give you the opportunity, to put your efforts and get what you can do. And later, actually, they will, if you graduate, they will love to hire you in the government and do so much, work and all that.
Was
But
there a lot of competition in your family having all those brothers and sisters? Did you have like a lot of pressure that was put on you to
well,
perform maybe better than, I mean, because you said you were the baby of the family, right?
so I was good at the school because I was really focusing on the school, and then they had a big trust in me. So like I was like, nobody tell me anything because they knows I come in and then I just go fix everything I need. I do all my homework, and then after that, I'm done.
Okay.
And they knows, like, and if I don't know, like, especially my mom was like, hey, like, she never asked me, never tell me anything. My dad never. My older brother, which he was a pretty high, like my old brother went to high school, and then in high school, because we had a big family, and he actually dropped out of finish high school, and then instead of going to the college, he went to the military.
Oh, okay.
And then I
They allowed
asked
that
him,
to happen.
yeah. So,
Okay.
and I asked him why you did this. He said, because, I grown up, I got just at 17, and then I scored pretty well. But I was looking at my dad and then all of you guys here and all that. So I said, no, I don't want to be, let me go help my dad.
Mm.
And then I have already my score, because you can pull your score back and then you can go back to college. When he taught, so I told him, okay, so explain to me what did you do? He said, so I finished my high school, I got my score, and then I went joined the military. And then I joined the military as a regular NCO first. So I said I got it. And then he said I was there for, I think he told me 2 years or 3 years. And he said I went and pulled my score. And then it was during that time, I think it was the late 70s. There was a big guerrilla war going on up north in what the Kurds is. So it was kind of like the Iraqi government fighting some of the Kurdish rebel in this area. So my brother, he told me I was deployed there in those mountains. And then he said when I got my score out, I went back again. Like it was a 3 years later. I told my dad, hey, check this out. I'm going to go back to college. And I said, my dad told me, hey, you in the military. And in there, the military is different. You cannot just say, oh, no, I'm done. I go. No, you cannot do that. He told me, no, I told my dad, you know what? They're going to give me a class for the afternoon. So there is another class for the afternoon for the people who they actually working and all that. So you can get your
night
college
school.
exactly like night school, but it's college. And he used to tell me, he said, hey, I used to come down and then go in my car, change my uniform to my civil. They got to wear uniform at that time. So back in the 70s and 80s, the university had to wear a gray pants, white shirt, and a blue jacket.
Okay.
Blazer. So you have to be there. You walking through the security. If they see anything in your uniform, you're out. You're not going that day.
No games.
Exactly. You gotta go.
No pajamas.
No, nothing. When I came here, check this out. So when I came here, and then I was in Austin. So then I was like, okay, like, and then I was walking all those parks and close the South Congress and all that in Austin. And then I used to run over there, and then I like,
man, wearing pajama bottoms and flip flops and hoodies all the time.
Nothing over there. People looking at you. With you, because we like that we get taught you have to be dressed up and you have to be always exactly like so. Like this is like really weird, kind of like to go into, and you going to the University of Texas, man. You're like with this flip flop. So yeah, and then he told me I learned a lot from him. He had a big impact on me.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and then he actually told me, and it's 4 years college, and he told me every day I used to get up change my uniform and go. And then he graduated because he has a big like duffel bag. He dumped it one time for me and his son later. And then we went through his pictures, like the old paper, like,
Yeah, yeah.
pictures from the 70s, the black and white. And then I was seeing all his, and then I asked him, hey, who's this? I said, hey, this is my friend. And I met a couple of the guys, they were in the pictures, but they were already older and all that. And then later when he graduated the college, now is a different situation. Because if you have a college there, you can become an officer like this. So he went and become, he applied actually and picked up I don't know if you're familiar with the OCS school.
Yeah.
So the OCS school here, it can take you for a few months, and then because you advance and then you already graduated, or they give you that they commission you and you become an officer. Over there, they have the same. It's a 6 months college, because the military university is 3 years there. So you will go there and you're going to get beat up pretty well, because your drill sergeants, they carry sticks and they allowed to put hands on you. You right or you wrong. So you're going to be live, and then you go only on Thursday at 3 o'clock to your house, and you got to be the next day there by 12 o'clock for 3 years. And then you got some days when you go to the field, you don't come back. Because I got some cousins went to the university, I got some friends went there. And then, but there is a different course for the advanced students if they graduate master degree or colleges, which is a 6 months where you go there and then you actually get a quick course. And then, of course, if you prior military, it's going to be easy for you because you already done it. So he went through that when he graduated. And the way they assign you, you don't get to choose. You draw. So you draw, and then it comes up to you. You draw it as, okay, this is infantry, more engineer. No, yeah. And then and the engineers there is very interesting because you're gonna be placing mines, not only fixing the stuff, and then drawing a lot of things. So my brother told me I draw, and it came up the freaking air defense and missile. So I said, oh, okay, I take that. So it was the actually air to air and air ground missile.
Okay.
And then ground to ground missile.
Okay.
So that was the big stuff,
Yeah.
So, and he said,
we ended up hitting during Desert Shield, all the scuds and everything.
Exactly, like all this one.
We ended up taking out there in the 1990s.
Exactly. That was like, and then he told me it was very interesting. He was in very good shape. Like I saw his picture when he was in the college. He was with 6 packs and all that. Exactly. And then he's not a big guy, but he's pretty fast. So he told me I was there for 2 years, and I was still lieutenant, because I seen his pictures and all that, and it was very interesting. And then he told me I was very close, about 6 months away from getting to first lieutenant. And he said, one of my friends said, hey, you're in good shape, man. Why don't you try for the special forces? That was the time for the war against Iran, and the special forces was doing a lot of hard stuff. So he said, you know what? Yeah, let me try. So he said, I went to the selection, and then I took it the first one, because he was telling me a lot of stuff about what they did with them. He said, you cannot explain it. And then he ended up going through it. When the course is like 9 months, the school, no, I believe us two here is 9 months almost. It was kind of identical because it was the same, all the school stuff. And he told me when I graduated, it was the same week that I made first lieutenant. He said, my instructor, it was always going after me. He told me, you don't look like a soldier. You look like an officer, because he said, what they want us to do, we cannot say we officers. Everybody remove the ranks and you cannot say nothing. And he said, if they know you're an officer, you are the number one target. They're going to put all, if you already running all day long, you already don't eat. They don't give you food. You already get beat up. So it's like nothing. Except for anything. They don't touch you. They don't talk to you. You just get beat up. And then every time, hey, what do you think they're gonna do? What do you think the Iranian gonna do for you? They cut you, know. So it was like very interesting. And then he ended up actually graduating, and he ended up going back and become a senior instructor at the school. And then he become the airborne wing commander for the school. And then he went up to 2-star general until he got killed. And when he got killed, like I know somebody just left a bomb in front of his house. And then he walks in to see what's going on. And
that was it, huh? Yeah. Christ.
Yeah, because well, I don't know exactly. Like, I still think is the because he was a special forces, and then that was
Targeted.
that was after the invasion by less than a year.
Okay.
So we were thinking it is the Iranians sent out al militia because they were targeting those guys because they were going after some of their proxies. The one now bombing us in the Middle East, all these people that we go into in Syria and Iraq and Yemen.
Yemen.
Yeah. And those the guys was they were doing it.
So having a brother like that in your life, did you have any thoughts about joining the military yourself while you were there or no? You know, having a brother like that you looked up to that was doing all these
I
things?
really looked at to him because my other brother, a little older than me, he actually followed the same route.
Okay.
Yeah. And then when it came up to me, I want to really do it. Because believe it or not, I was like, I was 5 years old. And then he was taking me with him to the school. And I look around and I see how people jumping and like, what are you guys doing?
Right.
And I still remember, they gave me from their chow, like food and all that. And I'm sitting like this, everybody say, hey, come in. Yeah. And I looks like him. And people thinking I'm his son. It's like, no, he's my brother, man. He's not my son. And I was like, so I used to go there and I get to go with them and I see like, what the hell is this guy's doing? And like they do all the sliding and stuff.
The ropes and everything else.
Not only the ropes, they have like some sort of course. They put you there in this course for about 2-3 months. Like my brother told me, you're going to get bored. Like you're going to grab anybody. Hey, I just want to get in the plane and jump. I'm done with it. Is that they do it every day. So when they go there, they don't have this final, like there's a final fear in the airborne because I was here and I see when you get to the door and you're trying to jump, people seeing this and then they
Cool.
Yeah. Exactly. That's the thing. So he said, we don't want nobody to get that one.
Yeah.
Because it could cause a safety hazard.
Yeah.
That if somebody acts, stupidly there, it could get some more people to kill. But,
hesitation, right?
And then they're using those, like they call them mobilization parachutes. The circle one, they don't have the wings, and then they don't have this fancy stuff like the sport one that you can adjust. So what about if the wind? So he said, no,
you
grab the ropes like this, hands down, like thumbs down, and you gotta twist them. If you twist left, you're gonna go the opposite side, and if you twist the other one, that's what you do. You deal with it. It's for you. So he had a really good impact on me, but he taught me a lot of stuff. So he was all over, like, he trusted me. I remember when I graduated the high school, he bought me a very nice watch. Yeah. He was like, and then you know what? I wanted to follow the same thing, but he's the one told me, hell no. You're not going. We already done enough.
We already did it for the family.
Yes, my brother's done everything. I just don't want another one in the military. Why don't you just become civilian, man?
Yeah.
And he was happy with me that I went to the law school.
Okay.
Because he told me, hey, just be civilian. He done 33 years, and he told me, look at me since I was 17. And then when he got killed, he wasn't even 50 years old.
Damn.
Yeah. So it's like, hey, dude, look at me, like almost 30, like more than 30 years now. And then he just told me, he's like, don't go. And so it was a good experience too. And then he was always telling me like, hey, if you get a chance, get out of here. And then, when things start really going bad and all that, it's just,
well, let's get into that. So you went to law school, got a degree in law, right? You're working, 9/11 happens, the quote unquote global war on terror kicked off, right? We went to Afghanistan and, us going into Afghanistan was kind of a given immediately, right? We had special forces land right away. They went up with the Northern Alliance who were like, this is happening. But there was a very slow, long transition into getting into war again with Iraq. We had all those hearings. We had all the bullshit about weapons of mass destruction. We had all the reporting about it and everything else. So us going on Iraq didn't happen overnight. It was like a long discussion, public discussion, hearings and all that. And then there was the buildup. Right? So we knew it was coming, but it just didn't happen overnight. Like,
this is like,
so, what was that? I guess my question is, you being there, right? How was that watching the news, seeing what happened in New York on 9/11, knowing that we're going into Afghanistan, right? And then now you're seeing this like, holy shit, this is coming here. So what was that like living there, seeing that?
Let me prepare you for that, because when I finished my law school, we have mandatory drafting there. in the military. So you have
Yeah,
to
like
serve.
a conscription, like a
Exactly.
conscription service,
Exactly.
right?
So you have to serve. The only things get you out of the surface is the school. But the level of the school you finish, excuse me, it will give you allowance unless you're a PhD. So if you finish high school, if it's not a wartime, if it's a wartime, then you in the army or you somewhere in the military, Navy or Air Force, whatever, and you don't until further notice. Because my other brother, he finished his college and then they picked him up as an officer.
Okay.
And that was during the war in Iran. And then he was there until he's a major, 14 years. And he was enlisted. He didn't sign, like it was his draft. So when it got to me, luckily it wasn't a wartime. It was just the end of the 90s. And we had couple problems with Clinton, like in the 1998 and there, thing. Yeah, with like during Clinton time. But when I finished, usually, like I tell you, take a break, 3 months, and then in October, the people who graduated, they will be shipped to basic training. So during that 3 months, they will call you, they're going to do your paperwork at the recruiting office in your state, wherever, and then they will ship you.
So some people might get hit in their first month of those 3 months, and some people might get hit.
No, they will process. They take that 3 months to process everybody. In October, then you know which school you're going to.
Oh, okay.
You go to the surface, and they shave your hair and all this stuff. Then that year I was unlucky because I remember in the last test that we finish, because you got to take all the tests and then you wait about 3 weeks to get the results and you're done. Just in case you don't pass the test, then they're going to give you a second opportunity in September. So you can go take your 2 months to study and then go back. So in the last test, there's a big, like a wall like this, where they put all the announcement in a glass. Oh, and by the way, let me tell you something. That wall right there, next to it, a big statue and a picture of Saddam Hussein. Because that college I went to is the same one Saddam Hussein graduated. It's a pretty famous. It is established in 1908.
Wow.
It's very, very famous. A lot of the smart people, they went to that school. There. And then when I went to the college, I had a lot of friends around me, like in it. Some of them, they were like, one of them was like the son of the prime minister. So they're all high, like, government.
Influential people.
Exactly. It's like this. But I remember I came and said, hey, what this? And I saw the guys, around it. The girls don't come there because they don't take them to. So I go, look at this. I said, oh, damn it. They said they said it a declaration. So the announcement had it there, and they said, "Oh, this year we're gonna change the game a little bit. Or we're gonna start shipping people in July." So they cut down. I said, "Damn it!" Like I'm not gonna even
the break.
But you know what? But I wasn't like really concerned about it. I said, "Oh no, let me go. I go do it and see how it is," because I saw all my brothers and I see a lot of things. But I want to go and try it. So I end up going, and I actually went early, and it was summertime, and over there is like 120 degrees. Is like, if it's 100, 105, that's actually cooler. That's okay.
That's not bad.
And then the things there, it's opposite from here. Here they enforce you to drink water. Over there, they don't give you water. Your body gets used to working fully operatable with no water. I don't know how that happened. Like I never seen anybody pass out. I was seeing guys here with me when I came. It was like everybody passing out. I was like, wait a minute.
I mean, we see it now, right?
Yeah,
when it's 110, 114 out for a couple of days.
Right? But I know, I understand the weather is different and there's so much, there's and that. So I go, I went and they said, hey, you know what? College you graduate, you guys gonna go to only that school. So they send us to actually a special basic training school. And everybody, you go there, everybody is a college student. But that's really make it difficult because the drill sergeant knows we all, they just coming from college and then party. So you just
got to make sure they don't have a good time.
Party now here.
Bring that attitude with you, right?
Hey, we're going to party here, okay? So everybody duck down. We duck on the knees. Hey, and then carry your rifle. They give you an AK-47. It's heavy. The one we use it, they don't give us the Russian ones. The Russian ones is pretty light. They give us the Chinese. The Chinese one.
Yeah, the heavier wood.
Heavier wood, heavier barrel. The metal you can see different. And it has a bayonet. So it's more weight, and then you carry it on your head.
Above your head, doing
and
that
then
little stupid duck walk thing, right?
exactly,
Yeah.
and then now check this out, and we march duck like this, like you just hear like, and then you do it for like 50, 100, 200 minutes. How he feel,
I think I feel.
like it was very interesting. But you know what? When we finish it, we actually, oh shit, okay, that's good. We
Wasn't
learned
that bad.
something. So I end up get assigned after you finish, they will ship you to a unit.
Okay.
And then usually units coming in and pick up people. So I remember I was there when the Republican Guard, the special operation came in, and they picked up a bunch of guys. Some other guys came in and they picked up some guys. And then I said, why these guys don't come after us? And then one time, and I end up asking actually my platoon leader, he was a first lieutenant. So I'm, hey, sir, so how come we don't get, of course you cannot talk to him before, but we were close to graduation. I told him, how come these guys don't come on? He said, oh, you and then this guy and that guy, you're untouchable. Nobody coming after you. I told him, why? But I want to go. I wanted to try the Republican guy, the special forces, to see what it is. And here they said, no, you guys not going there. You already locked. There is a general already locked you guys. You're going to go to the legal office for the defense. They need you there. I said, oh, shit, what is that? Like, and I called my brother, the gentleman, hey, do you know where is the legal? He said, yeah, that's right there next to my office before. And that's a nice place. You get busy a lot, and you're gonna see so much stuff. And then like I already know like 3-4 brigadier generals, they're all my friends. So like, and I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna ask him because what? No, don't ask nobody. He said, no, I don't ask because I know you square away, so you'll be okay. So we end up being really 3 of us apparently lucked because we graduated from law school. So when you go there, you serve, but you actually pretty much like a lawyer. So you're working on big military cases, all the corruption.
So it's like being a JAG here. Okay.
But you're a soldier, and you do what soldiers do. We come for PT, we run, we do stuff, and then we go to our offices. All these big cases, fraud, bribes, like things, going there. So I go there, and then they do orientation and intake. So we were there for a week. They explained to us what's going on, all the stuff. One time I'm sitting in the class like this. We had a break, and then some guy comes in a civilian clothes. I still remember him. He was wearing a blue shirts and a black, pants and dressed up and all that. He came in and has a couple papers in his hand, and he walked through the class, and he said, hey, where's, and he mentioned a guy was with me. His name Liya. He said, hey, where's Liya? Liya was in my platoon in basic. And he graduated business management. And this guy never wore his beret right. We always was getting in trouble because he put it back there. Where is your beret? Then you know what? Yeah. And the problem there is the one is not like, okay, the one, okay, let's go. The whole platoon.
Everybody.
Do you see the like pole over there? Like half a mile. You're going to run there and you come back here. The first 5 and the rest going to go back. And everybody running trying to be the first 5. It was like, and then this guy, I told him, oh, you know what? Luckily, I called him sir. I kind of said, this guy looks like an officer. So you know what, sir? He's not here today. I know he was with me yesterday and he asked for 1 day today because he has an emergency home. He said, oh, okay. And then he walked out. Like 10, 15 minutes later, he came out and he said, hey, you want to talk to me? I told him, yes, sir. He said, come with me. So I go there with him. And then he brought me to an office. I look, oh, shit. Security office. That's the military intelligence for the JAG. And I told him, hey, sir, can I help you? He said, no. And he was looking in the paper like this. He turned on and he said, hey, fill up this paper. He gave me a form, has my name, information, sign, and all this stuff, and put my this and that, and I gave it to him. I didn't know this was a background investigation. And then I just gone. And then
a background investigation because something was up and they were investigating you, or they were investigating your background because they wanted to give you a job.
So this is the thing. So I don't know what it was. Like I just filled it up. I don't have nothing. Here you go. I'm one of the best families, in the country. So we never had any problem. And then he told me, you can go back there. So I went back there.
So he's keeping his mouth shut.
He's very like, but he's like respectful, but he's talking in an authoritarian, because he's military and all that. So I go back to the room and I'm with my day. And then after we finished the orientation, we had another sergeant major. He was the one assigning everybody. So he will come in, hey, such and such, such and such, such and such, go to department number 3, department 4. Every department, like department 3 was the one actually finalize the cases and turn it to the judge, prepare for the judge to go to the court, because we have courts everywhere. And then every court will work on certain cases. So there's lower courts, you know, for people AWOL and things like that. And there's bigger courts for stuff, national security. This guy like called everybody. It's been a week, every day coming in, there was quite a bit. There was like about 75 people of us. He took everybody and then I'm sitting there and they're like, I'm the last one. And there was 2 more guys with me. And then like he's scared to ask him anything because he's an older guy. He's been in a freaking military 40 some years. And I came to him, hey, do I have any? Well, you know what? Well, they taught us something. They said, hey, those guys, you cannot call them sir because he's a sergeant major. And then you cannot call him hey or something. He's going to probably wipe the floor with you. You're going to be doing push-ups all day long. And then, and we all dressed up and clean. Like, I told them, how the hell is going to call him? He said, they like if you call him uncle. I told him, they said, yeah. Call them uncle. Him, sergeant major too. So I went there and I tested the water. Hey, uncle. He looked at me and said, yeah. Like normal. I said, that's good. Okay, that works out.
Uncle it is.
Yeah, it is. So like, you know who told us? Along there. Because we were, you have a bachelor degree, because if you finish high school in no wartime, you go 6 years.
Okay.
If you bypass and you graduate college, you will do 2 years. Master degree and PhD will do only basic training.
I'm sorry, basic training, huh? Just enough.
Just enough to shoot your weapon and a little bit get dirty.
Right.
You know?
Just taste of it.
Exactly.
Then
just
you go back to doing your PhD work.
Exactly. Just in case they need reserve later, then they will call you out.
Okay.
So I was there, hey, uncle, you called everybody and I don't know what happened. Like I'm still, he said, I don't know about you guys, but I will come back tomorrow and see what it is. So he come back tomorrow.
Well, you'd already kind of been there before, right? Everyone else getting picked, everyone else getting called, except the 3 of you.
Yeah,
when the first guy told you all you were untouchable because you're going up to the legal office.
Exactly, but the confusing things, they collected all the 75 law school graduate and they brought him into the legal office.
Okay.
So we were there in the legal office, but they were picking up people and sending them to the offices and to the departments. So there was only like 5 or 6 of us left. So he comes in the next day. And then I came in, hey, uncle, you know, I'm waiting, trying to talk to him. And I look like this at the list in his hand. And I see my name and the other 2 guys, the last 3. And I look at him. I still remember in Arabic, it say alif. No, it's actually said meme, which is M. And then say alif, S, and then ayn. So this is a designators.
Okay.
Which is actually let me say like M-A, S, and then A. I looked at it, said, what? And this guy next to me said, what happened? What are we going to? I told him, hey, hold on. Because, you know, I grew up in a military family. So when I used to be like a growing up teenager, my brother, the general, has a room like this. Amazing. He loved to read, has books from everything. I used to go and dig his books from the training and all that. And I read about all this tactical planning and when you do this, like it's like when you're an infantry officer or something. And I go in and I remember I said, hey, I know this designator, man. He said, what is it? Damn, I thought this is the headquarters of the military intelligence. It's got to be that guy. So I told him, what is this? He said, yeah, I meant to tell you guys because you got locked up now for the military intelligence for the headquarters. I told him, for what? He said, you're going to go to their legal office. I said, oh, okay.
So the legal office of the
was the intelligence unit at that time, the actual headquarters of the military intelligence. It was actually directly to the president. So national intelligence, national security, military intelligence is all assigned to works under National Security Council and is all under directly report to the president. But they train by military, and they still work with the defense.
Yeah.
So, and then everybody comes from the defense. So
what year was all this now?
I finished before 9/11 by 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah. Because when my 9/11, I was free. I wasn't in the military when it happened. So I actually end up going there and I worked in really good office. I got to see a lot of stuff, you know. and I got to actually go to court and then investigate a lot of cases. And I worked with very, very good guy. Like the guy I worked, there was two guys I worked with. They were both legal brigadier generals. So they were legal officers. And we used to turn in investigate all the cases. We make sure all the cases complete because we receive cases from all the intelligence unit, but a lot of it missing stuff. So we have to write back to them, tell them, no, we need to fix this, we need to fix this. And they were actually really good. And that guy, the general, liked me a lot because he told me, you're very smart. And then when I talk to you and you talk to me, we understand each other because we all went to the same law school. So it was actually a pretty good experience for me. After this, when I got out and the invasion, happened and all that, it was just all the mess started, completely changed culture.
So the invasion happened right after 9/11. We went in there. We rolled into Baghdad with
exactly.
Such an incredible.
It was these guys from Forbes, First Armored Division was here, and they the one.
Yeah. So you're there. You're living in Iraq, right? Happening, right? What I mean, I'm very curious to know, with you sitting here now, right, going through that.
Yeah.
Like, how was that, man?
So it was,
I mean, there had to have been a feeling, because like I said, there was this lead up to it. It didn't happen overnight. There was no surprise.
Yeah, like
there was no surprises like in Venezuela or anything like that.
No,
right?
the people, there was stuff under the table, but not on like a high level. It's not on the level now that we doing it or the Israelis doing with the Iranians and the stuff like going on now. No, this is a different stuff. It was, we know how they came up with all this, stuff between the United Nations and then about the nuclear bombs and then about the, I can tell you one of my friends, he was an agriculture engineer, but he was working on the reactor and I used to see him every day. And then he was one of the smart guy. He told me, "No, dude, we never had anything. It's like we try, like we build in a reactor, but we don't have anything about actually making a bomb." Or
it was. It's interesting.
Well, they were making Scud missiles. They were making all this ammunition, just like anybody or like the Iranians now. But I don't think so. There was. I think we did have chemical weapons, but because somehow Saddam Hussein one time threatened the Israelis with the chemical weapons, but I don't think so. I mean, he was really with like
they used that one attack. I think it was on the Kurds with the sarin gas, right?
Yeah,
that they used that as like a catalyst of like, he's going to, Saddam's going to use chemical weapons on everybody.
Believe it or not, like there was another side of the story that I heard there. That is actually they were dumping, the white cement, the one they used for the walls.
Oh yeah,
they were dumping it from the choppers, and then people thought it was chemical.
Psychological warfare, right? But they and I'm sure you remember there was that one picture it was a tragic picture of that one little girl.
Yes.
She was like wearing a blue dress. She was in the ground with her mother. And I remember the West using that one picture from when I think the Kurds got hit.
Exactly.
And they used that as this big story about.
There was actually the guys the soldiers who pulled out of the war. They said, actually, we didn't receive orders to bomb the Kurds. What happened is, part of those areas in the Kurd was controlled by the Kurdish rebels. Somehow they had links with the Iranians, so they let the Iranian army go through. And then during that battle between the Iraqi army and the Iranian army, they used a regional chemical weapons, like a bomb. When you throw it, you can throw it with the artillery or whatever, and then you blow up a place for a certain area. But the things, when they let these people, those areas I have seen them. They're really nice, beautiful mountain area, a lot of villagers there. And then what happened is these people trapped in the battlefield. They were the civilian in the battlefield in between the Iraqi army and the Iranian army when they were bombing each other. And that's what happened because they were getting killed. I mean, I had my other brother, he was also a special forces, but he was a first sergeant. And then he's gone in a mission and never come back. He told me one time, he said, we rolled through a village after a fight. He said, I couldn't find nothing. I only find one chicken and 11 little baby chicks following her. And he said, we looked, there's no life. We carried the chicken and the babies and we throw them in the back of the truck, the military truck, and we took them with us.
And then there was nothing left.
Nothing, because he said the people were trapped actually in the middle of the deaths. There was a lot of details in this, like, like we can have an episode, you and me, for this. Like we can have actually a 10 episode only just talking about this. Like I lived it. I mean, is just completely different from what is what people thinking. Even that conflict now. Well, I look and I see people now. Ah, we cannot. We're not supposed to go there. Well, we spending money on the bombs. Oh, we do this. But I'm looking and say, you guys don't know what's the what's the enemy. You guys don't know the Iranians. I personally sitting in front of you like there. They almost killed me 3 times. The EFP.
Oh, yeah.
The EFP flew like this, and I'm in the Humvee. It flew like this and it hit my side mirror, and then it shift up like this and hit to the turret, to my gunner, my best friend, which is, I'm gonna tell you now, you're gonna laugh. My best friend, he's the gunner on the top, and I got out from the car, from the Humvee. I pull my headset, because we have those headsets. You wear them under your helmets, and then they had a plug. So you plug, once you get it, you take them off and you get out for a quick, and then when you go back to the vehicle, you just plug them back, and then you hear everybody talking. We have high and low. So you have the low, you're talking between the car driver and TC and all that, and then you have the high that you can hear battalion and the
radio
convoy. And then I was worried about my gunner. But if I tell you, in this car, it was me, and I grew up Muslim and I pray. And then the way I grew up, actually, I grew up like Salafist, like now what they call them, ISIL and Al-Qaeda and all this stuff. But this is not the stuff that actually Salafists should do. You don't go kill people. And then my gunner, he born and raised in Tel Aviv. He's a Jew. And then he's not Jew. He's an Israeli guy. His mom and dad moved in here, stayed here and worked. And then, so he moved in here when he was like 11 or 12. And when he was with me, he was like a 24 or 25. And when we go out, this guy looking at me and he said, you're the only one I trust. Get me out of this. Oh, yeah. And I told him, yeah, I got you, man. Don't worry about it. And these people, I thought you guys hate each other. Dude, like, what are you talking about? Like, he's like,
it's just a secluded worldview.
It's Palestine and Israel, man. Do you think all the Israelis and the Palestinian, like the people hate each other? No, dude, this is just, you don't know nothing. That's the things. Yeah. So now people don't know what kind of enemy we deal with it. I don't blame the president now going after them, because I get back to your point, the build up. So that build up, we build way build up with the Iranian more than what we built with Saddam Hussein. It was actually, Saddam Hussein was the only one keeping the Iranian in check.
Yeah, and you and I had a conversation about that once, right? We had a conversation about that.
I did, man. It's like he was the only one keeping, and especially when I worked in when I did my service in the military intelligence, I saw a lot of stuff, because, we end the war and we had peace and everything's good. Like we started traveling there. They traveled to us. We become normal. But when I worked in this headquarters, and I started seeing the stuff, I said, these guys are still doing a lot of unilateral. The problem is they were hosting all this proxies, the one hitting us now, right? Just because before I came in to see you when I was driving, I was like, I pulled out of my garage. I was trying to see the news, what's going on. And I was seeing, because yesterday they bombed Habaniya, which is, if you pulled it up, it's a lake in the west of Iraq. When I was a kid, it's kind of like a beach in the desert, but it's a very beautiful area. In the summertime, the school used to take us trips there. So we go swim and play and all that. And Saddam Hussein used to have a palace there. But we go there, we don't care. We just go play soccer and play on the beach and all that. When I went back again, when I was in the army, we actually had a big base there. It's a pretty open area, and I'm very familiar with this area. And I don't know if you know that I told you, because my mom born in Fallujah. That's my uncles and my mom born in Fallujah. And then that's what the Marines was fighting.
Oh, yeah.
So I was hearing my uncles, all what's going on there and what happened and all the stinks in it. So I know that area very good. And when I went back to get deployed there, I was the go-to, man. Every commander I go, he doesn't go nowhere without me. So, hey, man, you're with me. So I go there, and then I have a good face with the people because I know the culture. So I open a lot of doors.
It's important.
Exactly, because that's the things I try to preach to them. I tell them, hey, same things now. Hey, I told him, you know what? I don't like Saddam Hussein, but he said something good. One time, one of the, it was a brigade commander told me what he said. I told him, hey, you need to watch your enemy, and then watch your enemy, and then love your friends and your family, but you need to put your enemy before them. He told me, that's very interesting. Well, because if you don't put the enemy, if you're not close to the enemy, you're not going to know nothing about them. And they said, oh, true. I come here. So if we don't talk to nobody, we don't know how far they're going. And that's why we're far from the Iranians, so we don't know nothing about it. The Israelis are trying to...
Yeah, what I want to do is I'm still excited to hear this, man, because we got the invasion going and then you end up in the United States, right? So was there a time that you looked out the window in Iraq and you saw M1 Abrams and you saw US Marines showing up? I mean, so what was it? I mean, so our invasion happened, you're still in Iraq, and I want to see what happened there that got you to the United States.
So beside the normal air strikes, I mean, I seen the A-10, I seen the F-16 because there was F-16, the thing is different. I see it like right there, like, you know, I can hear, and then you can see the pilot goes up with the sounds and down. It's like a stereo or something, you know, like, and then my first time seeing an actual soldiers, it's not good. It's not a good situation, but I came out of it. It was me and my brother, and we drove into a firefight between the Fidayu Saddam, you know, the guys was covered in black and all that. We drove, there's a big hill and near the old city of Babylon. By the way, the Babylon is like a lot of my uncles own the land around it. So that's where our family from. And I was very familiar with it. And then we drove it through, and then it just happened like a movie right in front of me. I can see the Kiwi, you know, the Kiwi, the small chopper. I can see the Kiwi. I can see the Abrams right in front of me. And the Abrams wasn't even tan. He was one of those green ones. Okay. And then I just see the Kiwi shooting at the hill. And the hill, when we was in the school, we go up there. There's a checkpoint near to it, but the checkpoint was unmanned. It was like unoccupied. Nobody's there. But the Fidayu I think they had RPGs and Stingers, and they were trying to engage the
helicopters.
And then, yes. And then the Abrams over there, and I think the Kiwi was trying to clear up everything's aftermath. And then I look at the Abrams right in front of me, and I still remember two guys. One guy was, you know, they used to wear that jumpsuit. When they came in there, it's like it was basic stuff, man. The LBV, they didn't have the high speed stuff when I went to Afghanistan and went back again to Iraq. No, they have like, you know, a bunch of stuff, and they have the LBV, and you have those little grenade the pouches. They don't have grenades. They have their cigarettes, and then they have gum or
cigarettes or chewing tobacco, whatever.
Because some of the guys, when we went back again, they saw
the important stuff.
They saw the Iraqi police and the Iraqi army. Tell the guys, like the new soldier, they tell me, the new generation, these guys are bullshitting, man. Look at, they had a grenade pouch. They don't have a grenade in this. They have a cigarette. Tell me, chill out, man. When we went there the first time, all your boys there in the pouches, we went to war. I thought we were fighting, shooting each other, and then they had the freaking cigarettes and their gum here. Because it's only LBB in there. So I get there to the Abrahams and I look at the guy. Oh shit, this guy, everybody has this idea of Americans as white and green eyes and all that. And this guy looks like, nah, he wasn't like, I don't know, it looks like Guatemala. And then check this out. He looked at me like this. Like we pulled and shit. This was the Abrahams right there next to us in the middle of the highway.
You guys were in a car?
Yeah. So we were on.
Lucky didn't get lit up, man.
No, because they know there's a lot of civilians. Right. And if they don't see you, like you have anything, so you don't pull a gun, whatever, no, because rules of engagement. And
it was also the start, right? So all the vehicle-borne.
Exactly. This came way later.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay. This came a year later.
Oh.
Yeah. In the beginning of the invasion, it was army to army. So it was Iraqi army. They don't have VBED and all stuff. It was just a regular like fight. And I remember I told you, like, we drove right to what the hell is that? Oh, shit. And then my brother looked at me and said, oh. And then all of a sudden from the back, because there's a lot of palm trees high, and you see the Kiwi comes up, like this, it's right there, like on top. And then, you know, it's the first time you see something. But everybody has this, you know, the things is like people think, oh, it's American. They're going to be blue eyes and you know, blondie, all that. But also the soldiers, when they went there, they have this mentality about the people loving it. They want to get rid of Saddam Hussein. So there will be a lot of people didn't want to do anything to the soldiers because, oh man, we're just done. That's fine. Just they came in and then we're done with that. Same things now. Well, we think the Iranians, but the Iranians is tougher on the people than actually Saddam Hussein. And
Yes.
they got a lot of time, man, to get ready for this fight. That's why it's not like Saddam Hussein. Saddam Hussein is just like, it was so quick and everything was collapsing inside the country because of the sanctions. They didn't have like really, and then the Iranians and their proxies, which is now they're killing us. They were killing us and now they're fighting us. They were actually against Saddam Hussein. So they wanted to get rid of him at any price. But the problem is, that's what I don't like, because I feel this people, they came here and they just lied to the Americans, and then they took the Americans there and we cleared the things for them and they just took over.
Yeah.
And we were, the nice guys showed up, remove everybody, and then these guys took over, and that's the only bad things. But yeah, we drove the things at Abrams. I look at this guy. Why this guy looks like a Guatemalan? And check this out. He's with the jumpsuit, so dirty, I remember him. He's like bald and all that. And he has a big ass skillet, and he was eating MRE from this guy. Look at him. And the other guy was like standing like this. And the guy eating like this, and he looked at me like this. I'm like, what the hell is that? And then he went back eating like nothing really. I think, and there was another Abrams. I think because it's a pretty wide highway. It's two big lanes, like 2 lanes, and has maybe about 5-6 meters wide median in the middle.
Mhm.
And then every inbound and outbound is like a 3 lanes itself. So it's a pretty big one. And on both sides is like
so plenty of room for a couple tanks to go rolling by.
Exactly. And then you can go over right, left. There's no sidewalks because it's a highway. And there's no any on this side. There's no any sides like the fences and all that. There's nothing there. So one of the tanks, I think the other guy, I saw him. They lost one piece of track, so they were trying to replace it. Because later on, when I came in and I went in the army, I was, oh shit, we started replacing our own tracks. So I remember, and then I saw this kid, oh my God, this is like, and the guy shot like on top of us, but I know he was targeting either when I drove, because I was, me and my brother heading to my uncle's house, my mom, brother, and then it was close to there. And we got there, and then my other cousin told me, hey, did you guys? I told him, yeah, man, we rolled through the firefight. He said, yeah, I heard there was a couple guys from Fidayu Saddam with RPGs and a Stinger. They were engaged in those couple tanks on the highway. So I think that's what it was. And this is my first time encounter the U.S. Army. And then they were not yet, because the way they deployed them, they were moving apart. So they came from every direction, from the west, mainly from the west and the south. The south, it was a long way. It's about 500 or 600 kilometers from Kuwait. But they came more from the southwest, where Saudi Arabia, and that's all desert. They came just roll through the desert.
Yeah.
You just need, the Abrams drive pretty fast. Abrams and Bradleys. And you just go like, ooh, you take off in the middle of the desert and then you off. So I got to my uncle's, and then that night it was a quiet. In the morning, there is a railway running. And then my uncles own all this land. They had farms for grapes and a bunch of other vegetables and palm trees everywhere. And they'll be living there all the time. But you can see the highway I was talking to you, the extent. So that firefight I drove to, it's 100 kilometers away from Baghdad.
Okay.
Where I live. But I was there with my uncles, and then visiting them. And then my uncles about 10, 15 kilometers heading towards Baghdad. So that place is south of Baghdad. So north of that, like you're heading to Baghdad, about 15 kilos, that's where my uncle's is. The next morning, and I heard the kids, hey, I think the Americans. So I walked out and I got on the railway, and it's pretty high because the train goes from there. And I looked and I see the first convoy. All the Humvees, the soft doors, that when we went first and we started getting blown up with them, it was like, and then they drove just by, like they wave us and all this stuff, there was a big convoy, And I always wonder, why is this, so why those Humvees lights on? And it's sunny, how it is. And then later when I came, he's DRL or whatever, daylight, they saving light.
Right.
Yeah.
The daylight driving.
Daylight, they have the sun, man.
Yeah.
And then the convoy runs and went towards Baghdad. And After that, I went back to Baghdad, so I drove it through some checkpoints because they were still trying to get to the final destination in Baghdad because you still have
Who was operating those checkpoints? Was it the US at the
U.S.
time or
Yeah,
was
yeah.
it
No,
okay,
it was
it's
U.S.
all
Yeah,
US, right?
it was all
So
U.S.
when you guys approached the convoy,
Yeah.
did they get everyone out of the car? Did they check
No, no, no.
IDs?
So
Did they
they
have
were
sniffing dogs at all?
really they were just like a bunch of guys line up in the middle of the road and they're just looking high and then you go.
Okay.
Nothing. They don't stop you. I don't know if they were like, maybe targeting like
Mhm.
certain people, but and then you drove through. I know the situation because I was pretty informed. And then, I tell you, my family's all like, and we watch news and we know every person there you ask him is not like here. Every person there is interesting in what's going on and the current events. So I know it's going to be a little tougher because Baghdad is my state. That's what I grew up. That's what I spent my time in a college. And then I went to the military there. And then I spent majority of my time. And it's the capital. So you got different directions. And every direction of Baghdad. Baghdad is very old city, man. It's not
Oh, yeah.
like, this is like thousand and thousand. And it's the same location. Nothing changed. And you got Tigris River running through. But I know that they have the green zone. That's what the presidential palace over there. You got that's in the middle, in the center, in Karade. That's what the embassy now. And then it's right on the river. Across from that used to be my brother's house. So you can actually, from the roof of my brother, you see the green zone. And then to the west, it's even more important because it's Bayab, it's Baghdad International Airport. And that's where later on, my unit, 101st, landed there
Okay.
and did the airborne operation, and they took the airport because the airport it was the most vital,
Of course.
points we needed because the airports, I've been there, and the airports has two sections. Has the civilian section and has the military section. The military section, that's what I actually seen AWACS and a bunch of other military planes. But it was pretty protected, and there's a big distance between them, and it's all fancy because it's a kind of restricted area, only for people who works there. And then, which later become my own base, and I was living there, and I had the memories. So they took that part, and it's airport ready. You got hideouts for planes. You had a beautiful runaway. The C-130 was like, ooh, right away, so they can get logistics.
Right.
And then you got the east side. They didn't go really. That was the last one because it's towards Iran. You drive about 2-3 hours, you're right on the Iranian border. And then the north part, they didn't really push from it because it's all Kurds.
Mm.
And the Kurds was separated since 1991. There's a storm.
Right.
So it was kind of safe to us,
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why we have our consulate. So more of the push came from the southwest. And then when it gets faster to Baghdad by that time, and then the convoys start showing up from the south.
Okay.
This is how we got to it. So it was kind of fast, but it was not that much really complicated.
What about family that you had? Because you were out of the military, you did your time, right?
Yeah, I was like, yeah.
So what was that like?
So
I mean, because you
actually,
got a big ass family, right? With all the
Exactly.
cousins, brothers, sisters, and marriages and everything
So
else.
I was in,
What type of family did you have? I mean, did you have family that was active duty military that was engaging the United States at the time?
I know. I had two cousin and one of my brother. They were already in Kuwait, so that they passed them. That was in 1991. They came back. There was nothing. But during that time, everybody was like, my brother was finishing up. He was leaving the military. He was already retiring.
Okay.
And then they have like us terminal leave. So like you'll have like over there, you don't lose your leave here. Like you still can take it. So no, I didn't have any, but my brother, the general, was all, from a military perception. He was always telling me, hey, they're not going to be able to fight. The American going to come in and roll it through. And then we hope for the best. He said, I don't think so. The American going to mess it up, but they should do better because they already know. And once you remove the government, everything's is like fall apart. Same things now with the Iranians. But the things that I find out later, it's we rolled there, but our plan was only for short term. We did not plan to stay that long. And then later things when South.
Yeah, it's a whole nother debate having a whole bunch of old
Yeah.
Cold War types fighting a new modern war.
Yeah,
I don't want to get
because
into it, but
you got people.
look,
Yeah,
ugh,
yeah. It's like, and then it's a different generation
yeah,
military. You got I mean, the Cold War people. They were in the military for 30 years. They were Cold War.
yeah,
Like nothing
yeah.
really. You get people came in for like 4 or 5 years. They were like got deployed 3 or 4 times, seen
Yeah.
so much combat.
Yeah. So I'm interested, man. What I want to know what got you here to the United States. Like
So check.
when, like events, timeline, because I'm excited to hear about you going back,
So
but I want to see what got you here to the United
check
States.
this out. A few months after the invasion, that's when they killed my brother.
Okay.
Okay, and then I was at my brother's house, and it's kind of like devastating for all of us because he kind of like was the one that we all look into it after my dad, and it hurts my mom a lot because she lost two. She lost him and lost my other brother in 1991. No, I was outside. I was walking outside his house, and then I walk, and I'm boom, three Humvees pulled in next to me to the house. And I remember a guy, tall guy, kind of like a Latino looking, wearing glasses, prescription glasses. He just looks like funny guy. He was the platoon sergeant. So he came in and trying to talk to the kids, asking them because what those guys did, it's a one car, small, drove by the door and threw a small homemade bomb.
Mm.
Okay. They try to throw it inside because my brother's car was inside the driveway, inside the house. So they throw it. The house is pretty high. The door is going triangle. It hit the door and fell out. My brother inside heard the noise. It's things, something needed to happen. So he walks out to see what's going on. Opened the door. Boom. Because I took him to the hospital. All what he got hit is I can see his toe a little bit damaged, his toes, and then he has one cut over here.
Mm.
That's the one. The doctor told me that's the one killed him. They couldn't, save him, and they have to transport him from hospital to hospital because they couldn't have
For
a
care.
capability to do it. So they have to take him to another hospital, and then he's only cut like this over here. And then it's just that's the
So
one
it took.
exactly. And then it was a shrapnel because the bomb was a small. So those guys they pulled in and they saw the little hole of the bomb in front of the door and the smoke and all that and shrapnel. And they came in and they're trying to talk to the kids and they're trying to do this. They don't know what it is. So I walks out and I see these guys. They looking around all that. So I tell the guys, hey, can I help you guys? And then that guy looking at me. He said, do you speak English? I thought,
Oh, shit.
oh yeah. I thought we all speak English. Well, probably people not gonna talk to you. And he said, what happened here? So I thought, man, it's you from I thought, yeah, it's my brother's house. So what happened is just they threw a car pulled in. Nobody knows. My brother neighbor was on the roof. He saw the car. He gave us description. He said there was three guys, but they threw it from the car. Nobody saw who's inside. I told him so it hit the top frame of the door, fell off. My brother heard the noise, trying to see what it is because my nephew was playing outside with his friend, but they were playing all the way down the road. There's a little park.
So they didn't get hurt.
No. They were
Okay.
playing over there, but you can see them far away. But he was thinking somebody knocking the door, whatever, because it's kind of like a little hit to the door. So I thought my brother walks out, and then the little IED blew up, blast, and then it hit him over here. And then it's like, it told me, what's your brother doing at the war? He was a general in the military before, and then he retired. And we don't know, like he doesn't have any enemies. Everybody like him. Everybody come for advice from him. So he never had any problems. And then in my family, like my family, my grandpa is the tribe leader. So our name is like,
Mhm.
the one everybody will get together and then ask, and then if they need some help or whatever. I told him, I don't see any. He said, oh, that's sad, man. We're going to have to do reports and this and that. And then he walked to the car. He told the other guys and then walks up back to me. He said, hey, are you interested to come and work with us? I told him, doing what? He said, can you come and translate for us and work with us? I told him, you know what? Let me think about it. And he told me, I know it's dangerous. I told him, no, man, I served in the military. I seen how things and I know how it is. But I told him, my mom already took a big hit with my old brother, my other brother. So she probably going to give me a hard time now and he said, okay, can I leave my phone number with you and all this stuff? Because like, I thought, okay, yeah, that's fine. Give me the phone number. So, and then I went back, and a few days later, I kind of talked to my mom, but my mom said, hey, I already lost your brother. I don't want to be. I told, hey, I got to see what it is. Like, like I want to help because I want to work too because I never been, like kind of sitting around wherever. So I've been always busy. So I end up calling this guy. This guy sent me to a place in the, arranged for me and sent me to a place in the, green zone, what apparently what was the defense contractor doing so I went there, I took a test, and then they told me, oh yeah, just, you took the test, just wait for us there. There's like a waiting room. So I waited there, and then they came back again. They told me, we want you to come back in the morning. So I'm okay. So I went, came back in the morning. So you come to they were already in the green zone. They take you in, they will escort you, and then you go inside. So I went in the morning. And actually, the site manager came in and talked to me. Said, hey, I already looked yesterday. You passed your test. You're pretty good. I have a really good position for you. I told him, yeah, where's that position? You're going to say I'm crazy. I told him, yeah, where's that position? He said, well, it's right next door. I have a 2-star general, and you're going to go work with him. I told him, do you have something else? He looked at me like I said, because everybody, it's a war. So everybody blowing up and people shoot at you. And all that. He said, why? This is a general here. You're going to be only eating in the chow hall and dressed up clean and nice, and you go home every day. I thought, no. When I came in, I took this chance. I want to go out. He said, really? Yeah. You better find me a combat unit. So I want to go work out and see how it. He told me, you know how this. I told him, yeah, I know it's IEDs and all this stuff. So I know what I'm doing. He said, okay. And you're gonna get paid more money if I told him, I'm not concerned about the money. I don't like really like life there is simple. So you don't need
Don't need a lot.
my dad, we have a big house, and then I don't have, like anything. I don't need really anything. So it's like, and then it's war and all that. Where are you gonna go? There's no party and nothing. Like, so he said, you know what? Yeah, let me go make a phone call. So he went and make a phone call, and he told me, tomorrow at 2 o'clock, your unit's gonna come and pick you up. So that's a new chapter of my life experience.
Well, let's take a quick break then, and we'll pick it up from there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. A quick and needed break. We are continuing our discussion with Oday. Oday, when before we took the break, you had accepted a job as a translator. You didn't want to work for the general. You wanted to be out in the shit. So let's pick it up from there.
Yeah. It's actually was like, the guy was like, the site manager was telling me, hey, this is the general here. And it was the CENTCOM. Now they're running the war against Iran. They had a headquarters there.
U.S. Central Command.
Exactly. And then it's all just building one of Saddam Hussein palaces. They were already there, and it's everybody generals and all that. And it's really nice place. So I thought, no, I want to go outside, and he told me, okay. Then tomorrow at 2 o'clock, he told me, let me go make a phone call. He went make a phone call. We were in the office. He called someone, and then he came back and he told me, tomorrow at 2 o'clock, you're going to be ready to go. So get ready, bring your luggage and all that stuff, because you work and you only get about not even 96 hours a month to go home. If
4 days off.
Yeah, about the 4 days off, So like you leave day 1 in the morning, and then you come back day 4 in the afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah, so not even 96 hours complete. I go home, I picked up my stuff, come back, and then a convoy pulled in, and then all the guys came out. And I look, it was the lowest one of them, a captain. And he was driving a Humvee. I look, I said, is that a captain driving the Humvee? They told me yes. I looked, a first sergeant, a major, and then there was 3 or 4 captains. And I looked at the gunner there, like the gunner, he's like the lowest one was in East. So I was like, okay. I was like, and then I remember these guys, they came in, which is actually the first sergeant. I met him later.
Now, were these Army guys, or were
they
Marines?
were Army.
Okay.
They were Army. But it's interesting because the base we went to, it was mixed. It was us and the Marines.
Okay.
Because the Marines was there. We got a few Air Force, but it was us, Army and Marines. But I don't know what they doing.
Now, did they throw you, so you take this job as a translator, you show up, did they give you any rifle plates? Did they give you an M16, or were you just unarmed?
I'm giving you the initial.
Okay.
They picked me up. So they came in, they shake my hands and, hey, it's such and such and all that. You're going to be with us. And then I remember the captain asked me, and he said, hey, we usually, you guys don't use real names for like your safety and all that.
Need
So
a nickname.
what are we gonna call you? I already had before. I had Hawk, like a name. I use it on my email. Somebody told me, yeah, you can call me Hawk. He said, like the bird? I mean, I said, oh man, that's badass. Okay, I
Okay.
get it. I
Hawk
thought,
it
okay,
is.
yeah. And he was a pretty good guy. He was originally Japanese, but there was another captain with him. There was another captain and the major and the first sergeant. So I went with them, they carry my bag and all this stuff, and then I drove with them. I don't know. I know the area. That's what I grew up, like Baghdad. So I try to follow where they drive and where we going. And then we end up going, I look, okay, that's the stadium. There's a big soccer stadium in the Baghdad.
Mhm.
That's what they used to do all the tournaments and all this stuff. And then I look down, this is the police academy. So that's what the police goes for their training, but only for officers, not for regular policemen, like police officers. So we end up going through some zigzag and all the security and all this stuff. And then at that time, attacks on U.S. forces start really picking up. That's when we start seeing suicide vests and V-bits and mortars and things like that. And then we go we go through the zigzag, and I look and I see a sign. I said, oh, fob shield. Fob shield. Like I said, this is so this is a military academy. And then I can see MOI. It was the Minister of Interior. So I was like, okay, that's not bad place, Because what I'm thinking is, I'm thinking how I'm going to leave the base, because outside the base, there is a spotters. They will spot you coming out, and they're going to go after you. That's the thing. They're going to record your information, and they knows you here. So that's when they start actually targeting some of the people working with the
Right.
Americans. The insurgents start a little bit more get organized. We not yet seen any AQI, any Al Qaeda or ISIL. That stuff came in a little later, like 2 years later.
Mhm.
That was in 2004. We didn't see any things around like ISIL until mid 2006. We start hearing, and they were a very small group, but Al Qaeda started picking up in 2005 in certain places. And then later they controlled kind of like a lot of places, a lot of territories. But I end up, okay, we go in the fob. They show me where is my room. We were living kind of like a choose caravans and all that, and the showers here and this and that. And we go eat, and then they gave me uniforms. So I'll have uniforms. And then they gave me an M16 A1.
An A1. The hell out of here. Really?
Okay. A1, but we look at it, it's like a regular M16, the same one the Marines carry. But everybody looking at me like this, looking at me, my girl's looking up. I haven't checked it yet. So I grabbed it. I look at it. I said, it's fully automatic. And we don't, U.S. Army don't use fully automatic.
Yeah, it's an A1.
But they told me, this is fully automatic. I told them, yeah. I mean, I'm trained with the AK-47 and PKMs and all this stuff, but this is not going to be it's same concept, nothing changed. So I took it, clean. I with me, and then I was wearing DC, and then they were just getting that year the new ACU issue.
Okay.
Yeah. So I remember I got it, and then I'm okay. So now explain to me what are we doing, because I want to know. Because I look all of you guys, like the lowest one was our medic, and he was very very good guy. He was a staff sergeant. They said, okay, so we are an advisor team. I told them, who you guys advising? They told me, have you heard about the Wolf Brigade? I told them, oh yeah, I heard about the Wolf Brigade. So it's an Iraqi commandos brigade. And that brigade had really bad reputation because it was pursuing a lot of sectarian killing and like doing a lot of shady stuff. And I thought, okay, and what are we going to do? They said, well, we, the 1st Battalion Advisor Team. So we pretty much, we live with them. We go out with them in a mission, and then we advise them, and then we provide as much as we can support and training. I'm okay. And I know already, because that brigade had so much bad reputation on TV that I'm okay. So I kind of said, okay, I think this is what I wanted, because now we're going to have a lot of actions, because those guys, wherever they go, they get shot out. The Commandos Brigade. Then I was like, and then we were going to be with them. And then, yeah, the next day we got out, convoy, and then we went to visit the battalion commander, and then all these guys, and then they went there, and they introduced me to them, and then shake hands and all that. And I'm luckily pretty good, because I get with the people along so quick, and and I had a really good relationship with them. these guys, I thought you guys gonna have a good relationship with them. But they said, well, why? Because they're thinking of they were pretty kind of like, tension because they don't want to get hurt. And then there's so much of that idea of the counterintelligence thing. No, but you guys gotta know who you're dealing with. So you gotta be close enough to know what's going on. They said, oh, okay, that makes sense. Because I told them, hey, like I'm not a very young guy. I already have an idea. I have seen people before. I know these people. So I think this is a good idea. I'm just giving you my recommendation. So it ended up being that time we went to that compound, we actually drove in a very bad area. That area we drove it through, that brigade was stationed in a place where actually all the SMGs, the Shia militia groups. So I don't know how you heard. Have you heard about Jaish al-Mahdi?
Oh, yeah.
Muqtada al-Sadr and all that. It was that time. And those guys, they never liked us. So they were like, and we drove in their area, man. And this is all the area, well, all the EFPs and then all like some routes is like really, it's pretty organized. It's built up Baghdad, cities and highways and all that. But it's also, you drive okay. People there is very nice because they understand when they see 100, stay back 500 feet or 400 feet, they will stay back. When we drive by, they pull back. They don't come close to us because they know they don't want to get shot. Because we always had a sign in the back say, stay back like 100 feet, deadly force allowed, we can shoot you. But it's like people know they stay back, they don't bother you, they don't come close, So that was the first time and last time we went to that compound. Because we went saw them and then we came back to our fob and like 2 days later, they called me, they said, hey, we got a little huddle meeting. So I'm there, we sitting outside. Okay, what's the meeting? They said, hey, well, General such and such and General such and such, blah, blah, blah. They already ordered our battalion. It's going to relocate. They're going to go move. And I told them, where are they going to move? They said, well, they're going to go to Salman Park, that area southeast of Baghdad. And I was like this. I said, damn it, we're going to see a lot of action. I already know how Salman Park looks like. So Salman Park it's very interesting town. It's a beautiful town. Nothing, just the trees and palm trees, dates and apricots and whatever you want to eat from the trees, and right on the river. I had a lot of memories when I was a kid because the school used to take us there to a resort. We used to go there all day long playing soccer. And that called Salman Park because there has we can pull it up actually, the picture. It's actually the monument for the Persians over there. So it's kind of like an old area, but it's also built up, and then it's very, very beautiful area. Like you smell, like the air there is very fresh. So I said, whoa, and it is very, and military standards, we call it dense vegetation, over there because there's so much cover. There is cover, but it's more of concealment because the trees is pretty tight. And then if somebody shoot at you from the tree, he can shoot standing. He can shoot from the hip. He doesn't need to be laying down or whatever. But I said, and I already knew the areas we already having trouble in it. And we got ready and all that. And then we left. Before you get to Salman Park, there's another base, which is Fabrostomaya. Fabrostomaya was the Iraqi military academy. So that's what the Iraqi army used to send the officers for the 3 years. I told you, the bachelor degree course. It's very organized. It has all the, whatever you think you need in a school or college. And to the back of it is the nuclear reactor. And then to the back of it, Tigris River. Because the nuclear reactor was set up for cooling on the river.
It needs water.
And then the military academy. So we were there. Rostamaya, I stayed there, and then it was our main fob to go back and forth. So we stayed there. We never had a good dinner. Food is amazing. The chow hall is 24/7. At midnight, 1 o'clock, you can go and get Subway. Okay. And then the 3 meals you got at the midnight, also it's open for a meal, which you actually have a breakfast, a lunch, and dinner if you don't want to get a sandwich. We didn't have a good dinner because across the highway in front of us, it's a low bridge in the highway, and across from us is a heavy Jaish al-Mahdi area. Every dinner between 6 and 7, at least we take 10, 15 mortar or Katyusha Sharak is the 107. Boom, boom, boom. One time, I remember we were so tired, and then I came in and trying to eat and go shower and go to bed. And I was in and out the chow for 5 times because you cannot stay in the chow. You cannot say, oh no, I don't give a shit. You got to go to the bunker. And then the last thing, I tell you, we sit trying to eat, and then incoming, and then it's falling everywhere. My God, go to the bunker.
Well, it's the thing about us Americans. We love our schedules, right? So, I mean, the guys dropping mortars on us, on you guys, they know our schedule. They're like, okay, it's 6 p.m. Everyone's going to be in the chow hall, right? I mean, God forbid we change, right?
It was, you know what, like some of the stuff, it was like a lot of dangerous moment, but it was so funny, like so funny. You could die, but it's like the things is like really, really like funny. So we go 4 times. And I swear, I sit there, I try to eat, and I got like a couple captains with me. And then the last things, I'm still civilian,
Right.
My last time, the 4th one, I said, hey, if something lands, hey, I'm Muslim, if God want me to die, I'm dying today. It's like, look at me like last time, the number 5.
Like, forget this, I'm eating. I think
they had mortar setting up there, or like the rockets, because they were rockets actually. So what I understood later from where we catch, where we saw and seized, is actually, I think they were setting up bases, and they will launch them. And then by the time they launch those, we get time to go out and come back. They have the other set ready. So, and then that's how they're
playing a game.
Exactly. So the 4th one, we got out, came back again, number 5. I'm eating like this, and then again, incoming. And these guys took out them. You know what? I'm civilian. I'm just going to sit there and eat. I don't stay back there. I thought, see, nothing happened. Like, because one time later, we had our rockets actually hit down and then went through. And you can see it because I think 2 guys hurt, but you can see the hole in the
ground
inside the chow. So it's all clamshell, so it's nothing really it's not like a soft top. But we end up actually relocating to Salman Park because the battalion we advising we work with, they locate. And check this out, where we end up locating to the resort I was going when I was a kid.
Oh, geez.
When I was 7 or 8, I go there. Oh, motherfucker, this is when I was playing soccer. But it's really nice because it was like right on the river. But I also don't like it because my town, the one that I grew up in, it was one of the most horrible control Al-Qaeda, heavy Al-Qaeda in it. I know a lot of the guys, like we grew up together, and then like we went to the same mosque. And then we went to the same, and I know some of them actually, they disappear and they turn in to be part of the, because we had discussion, and then like my family knows me, like, and I'm very well educated in this stuff because I study religions a lot. When I grew up a kid, my friends was Christians. They were my neighbors who went to school. I know how is Christian. I've been to the church since I was a kid with them. They've been with me. We neighbors, like my neighbor, they were Christian family. All their uncles are in Detroit. And I'm talking, that was like even during Saddam Hussein time. So I know a lot about this stuff. And then I was like, hey, but yes, you're supposed to be, strict and all that, and, Islam and all that. But there's nothing really, that's a not good, idea, because there's nothing really allow you to kill somebody else because you bumping out to different situation. Now we more modern with the law that is the human being put in. It's not a notional law like the Quran or Torah or a Bible or all that. This is something for you value, like you value and you obligate yourself. But the law now is they throw your ass in jail or they kill you or they execute you. They have death penalty there. So it's not really, but I know that some of the certain guys that I know before, they actually was fighting with Al-Qaeda, but they all end up, when I become a senior, and we end up killing them. Yeah, we end up, because that was the only one solution. We couldn't do any other than that.
So your day-to-day work as an interpreter with this this advisory unit.
Exactly.
Were you having a good time?
So I had a good time. I had a hard time. I had a dangerous, situations. But, and I had those days when all of us pray before we go and we look at each other because we might not coming back. Because I know some guy left already, didn't come back. because I knew every day that I'm gonna go step on an IED, and it happened to me. So I just look around and see, like, what's going on, and I knew that we learned the stuff, and I been in through a lot of things. But you know what? In the end of the day, when I come back, I pop my computer open, I watch movie, whatever. We laugh together, we had something, and then the day gone. But the things is, I was 24/7 there. So
when you were interacting with the, I don't know, lack of a better word, the indigenous, the public, the non-U.S. people, when you were translating for the other Iraqis that were there, did your countrymen at the time, how did they respond to you working with the Americans?
So they were actually, those guys that, like the units that I was with, they were happy because we there to support them. And
Right, the units, but what about the people that you were translating for? So like this unit rolls in and you got to talk with the locals.
Yeah.
Did you have a hard time from those guys
Well,
at all?
actually, sometimes, but once they talk to you and they know who you are, they kind of pull back.
Okay.
Yeah, because I tell you, when it has like when you have a really good way with the people, because we actually not only translators, they call us over there culture advisor.
Okay.
So when you go there, you know more than the other people, because you got another people, translators, coming from the U.S. They U.S. citizen and they green cards, LPRs and all that, and they go there, they work. But the units there, in terms of functionality, they like the locals because they know everything.
Yeah, they know the area.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
you probably had to be a part deal maker too every now and then,
exactly.
right?
So this is what's really, because that's what was happening. Because in this time, it was the brigade we work with. They were pretty determined to do bad stuff, and the problem is, we only limited. All what we can do is, we cannot really tell them, hey, stop. All we can do is report it. And we report it and have our guys top. We report it to our lieutenant colonel, the team leader. And it's a team of lieutenant colonel and about 3-4 majors leading teams of captains and senior NCOs. Every team will advise a battalion. And the lieutenant colonel advised the brigade. And when we have any problems, then the lieutenant colonel take it to the colonel, and the colonel go to the generals.
Yeah.
And the general call their generals and call their Minister of Interior, because they follow the Minister of Interior.
Yeah.
And that's how it goes, the chain of command.
Did you feel like you had a unique perspective of what was going on?
Yeah, I was definitely, because I tell you, when I came in,
bigger picture type stuff.
So when I came in, and you know me now, like I'm always determined. I don't really I don't bullshit, but if I have a job, I'm very determined to the job.
Oh yeah.
Like, I take it seriously. And I don't mess around, because this is the way my family taught me. Like, my dad was telling me, hey, always remember, there's a difference between male and men. Male is just physically a man with like a characteristics of like a man. So, pretty much hairy, and then looks man, beard, whatever. But the man, it's male because he's a physically, but he's a man. He has the male, he's a male with values. So if you don't have those values, you're not going to be a man. You can be just a regular male. Exactly like this. So he always tell me, you got to have principles. So things limit you to see the wrong from the right. So when I work with these guys, I know they do shady stuff. I know they were targeting certain people because of who they are, because there's a lot of big sectarian problems there. And those guys came back, they all trying to revenge, because they claim revenge from the Sunnis, because they claim the Sunnis, they were with Saddam Hussein. Saddam Hussein was against. But this is all, I'm sorry, it was all BS, because I was there, and then I'm half and half. So my dad is Shia, my mom is Sunni. And then we never had any problem with the government. My uncles, all of them was in the government, and then never, have any problem, because you're not breaking law, and then you work, and this is your country.
Yeah, that's something you and I spoke about before in the past, that no matter how much of a son of a bitch Saddam Hussein was, he allowed people to get along.
That's exactly, because you know what? Because everybody was in the shit together.
Right.
Like, nothing really. It's nothing. I know the Iranians was trying to, use some of the weak Shiites to recruit them against Saddam Hussein, but the rest of the Shia families is all okay. Like, I mean, they're not going to get involved against the government.
Right.
So that brigade was targeting some of these people bases, trying to revenge, because the Sunni Saddam Hussein, yeah, his family was Sunni, but Saddam Hussein never been Sunni. He was person works with, with everybody. It doesn't matter. He was more of a political guy. He was more of, he was all about Ba'ath Party and all this stuff. And Ba'ath Party has nothing with the religion. It doesn't deal with anything about religion. Yeah, they respect religion. People don't know is the personal chef for Saddam Hussein was a Christian guy. He was the one who was cooking for him. Saddam Hussein trusted the Christian people with his life. His personal bodyguard was a Christian. They were everywhere there, but people say, oh, you know what? I'm just Iraqi and then it worked. But yeah, so I started interacting with these guys. We lived in Salman Park and I started seeing them doing some stuff. To the point that is one time I just heard my door, tap, 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 tap. Like freaking 1:30 in the morning. I opened the door. What's up, sir? The major, hey, get ready. We're leaving now. I'm okay. So I go get ready, put my stuff, and then grab my rifle and all that, and then the vehicle's running and all that, and then we doing mission breathe. Okay, where are we going? And we were, by the way, we were day off in the FOB, so we were not in the little COP, like the combat outpost, where the commandos is. We used to go. We have to go back for once either Friday. We go Thursday or Friday. We get a dinner, good dinner, chow, because over there we eat only freaking cereal. I was in the pop, the yellow,
Oh, yeah.
and then fruity cereal, and then Coke and Pop Tarts. We have little, and then check this out. We start going to the PX, have a little PX and Fabros to my buying freaking ramen noodles. And then the major with me, he do I love this god. And then he put the ramen noodles and he put the cheese whiz, the spray. And then I said, what this guy doing? And then a couple times we said, hey, let's go out. We get some kebab and we got really good food, man.
Yeah.
But I just don't want to go that much because I don't want the guy with the kebab get killed because
I mean, things you got to keep in mind, right?
One time they got us, man. We went there. I thought, hey, I don't care. They kill us today. Let's go. And we went there and we got a lot of kebab. And the kebab has that, about the Arabic food. They have the samag, the purple stuff.
Oh, yeah.
The real deal, man. And then there was one of the guys with me. It was a cool guy. A 13 staff sergeant. He was from 82nd Airborne. He was my pretty good gunner. 240. It was 240. We were following firefights in north of Baghdad. He was pretty good, man. And then he came like and he said, hey, man. I thought he said, what the hell is this purple stuff? And I thought, hey, man, just keep eating, man. It tastes good. Don't worry about what it is.
Did he like it? Did he?
Yeah,
he smashed that shit, didn't he?
And the bread, it just tastes good. And all this grilled tomato and tomato. Hey, just eat the stuff, man. It's like we're freaking eating cereal all day long.
We get done here.
Yeah, cereal all day long and then Pop-Tarts. Pop the Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, talk about that. I think after we get done recording this, man, we'll go grab lunch over here, man.
It was like, so I tell you, and then it was really like, some good moments, bad moments. So we got ready and then like, hey, dude, it was because we need to go back. It is Thursday night. We go have a good dinner, go shower. Maybe everybody go to the MWR a little bit, chat with their families, give a call to wherever you want. And then we got lucky because we had a little more resources in our teams because we have more responsibility. So I didn't need it because I only have my cell phone and I called one of my sisters just to tell her, hey, make sure to tell my mom I'm okay because my mom is like go crazy and she knows and then I called them, hey, you guys good? Everything's fine. Hey, you okay? Everything's good? I tell me, yeah, I'm good. Don't worry about me. I'm fine. Just make sure, tell my mom I'm good. I'm good. So these guys, we have a satellite phone, so they'll be calling, outside. And so we got ready. Hey, what the hell? And then the main things actually we go into the FOB, not because of the dinner and shower and all that. Friday morning, we got to take our Humvees for maintenance. We do refit, so we got to take the Humvees. They got to double check the engine, and they got to do oils and all this stuff, and check the tires, so we don't have any problem. And then that night, hey, we come out. I said, yeah, it's okay. Well, we go. I don't care. I'm here, I still have the same concept until now. Okay, they call me. Hey, let's go. So I'll go there. Okay, what's going on? And then I've listened to the brief. They said, yeah, we're going to go now. We're moving this and that, and this and this and this. And then we're going to go drive back to Salem Park. I said, okay. That's quite bad, about 50 minutes. And a really bad area everywhere. Because you literally drive east of Baghdad, controlled by the SMGs, by the Shia militia group, all the EFPs. This is how the challenge is. Okay, we're driving now in an EFP area. You leave it, you get on Route Wild. That's the one taking South Salma, but we call it Wild. So on our maps, we tag all the routes. US Army usually have this really good, setup. We get on Wild, and Wild is only lane going, one lane coming with a big median in the middle. So we go on Wild. Once you enter Wild, territory, 360 degrees change. It's going to be
something.
Insurgents and Al-Qaeda. It's going to be Sunni insurgents instead of
And you got that median in the road you got to worry about too, right?
Oh, yeah. I worried too many times because I had I got to look for a video. I got 155 rounds.
Jesus.
I was in the second vehicle and went up between my vehicle and the front vehicle. But it was funny because
I mean, you laugh about it now, but it's got to be nerve wracking when you're actually driving through.
Oh shit! All of a sudden, you feel your brain shake inside your head like this, and especially if it's in night. The night is quieter, so the concussion is even worse. Yeah. So we drive. Why we driving? They said these guys going now. They have 54 warrants and they want to go arrest people at 1 a.m.
54 warrants.
I'm okay. Where did they get the warrants? They said, we don't know. That's what you're going to tell us. Because I've got to, okay, let's get there then. We go there. I said, I'm going to go and look at there because I already had a relationship with their intelligence guys. Okay. So we friends. So when I show up, hey, Hawk, what's up, man? And then they get me chai and all this stuff.
Did they throw you into this right away after, because you had that one staff sergeant say, hey, you want to come work for us? Was there any kind of grooming? Was there any type of a vetting process at all back in the day? Because it seemed like you jumped into it really quick.
So when you
and because now you're saying that you're hooked up with these intelligence guys, so
this is what happened when when I went to take the testing. Those guys have access to look up stuff. They defense contractor, but the company defense contractor, but they will have, which is you probably heard about. It's L3 Communications.
L3, yeah.
So they will do something to know who you are if there is anything so new. But I doubt it really. They can know that much because we also limited on the intelligence about people. They don't know everyone. It's pretty complicated. But the second vetting, when I got assigned to this team and I went to Fob Shield, they gotta give you a badge to enter the fob and leave.
Okay.
Okay. So you can come in and you can leave and then you have an ID. So they gave me a badge for Fob Shield and it tagged as the Military Police Academy on it. But when you go get the badge, then you get to get an interview by the CI guys.
Okay.
Which is they dress civilian, but they more than likely they were 35 mic, which is the human sources, human collection teams, which we call them HCTs.
Yeah, the human.
Yeah. So the HCTs later in the army, because I worked in intelligence, the HCTs guys will interview. You don't know who's these people. They were just civilians. But I know they were at least a staff sergeant because they get they get automatic promotions. They don't have to do all this bullshit that we go through just to get a little
scores and everything else and running.
So they will get with you, and when they start talking to you, you'll see they know I never had any problem with them. When I go talk to them, they're always happy with me. I seen them getting on some people, so I was thinking, wait a minute, I think they know something about those guys. Because with me, they were sometimes they.
Or they do.
Later, they were just, oh, man, they signing off on you right away. And then you get but only when you get that badge, they do that vetting process. Those guys will have a little bit more because they can actually ask people about you and things like that. We went there and we got there, man, and it's dark. And check this out. We drive in a blackout with NVGs.
Right. Lights out.
Exactly. Everything's
out. The vehicles,
so this is what we have. We have the little lights. That's nobody see them. It's only the
infrared.
Exactly. It's only what the NVG. So we drive it through him. My driver, that captain, I think had a problem with his bracket. So he was driving like this. And I was like, I don't care. I'm not scared. I said, this guy gotta hit us somewhere, man. So we go there. I get with the intelligence guys, and then the guys that I got with them, I end up being there with them 4 years. So they become really my friends, but I know they were doing crappy stuff, but they just kind of they didn't want me to know about this stuff and all that. But I was very close enough to kind of assess the situation and then go and report it. So I go and then, hey guys, what's up? What's going on, man? It's too late. They said, no, man, because we've been waiting and the brigade gave us all these warrants and we gotta go now. You know, when you do a raid in the night, I hate it because you walk in, all these women, it's like my mom and my sisters and all that. And you go there, you look. This guy cannot even freaking untie a chicken leg. Where did he go? Oh, we have information. He launched RPGs. This guy, he doesn't have even everybody has AK-47s and six.
Right.
This guy doesn't even have a freaking like a rifle in the house, and he doesn't looks like. What do you do? Oh, I work over here at the clinic. I'm a nurse. So they were like going after people. So I end up checking everything, and I thought, hey, so this all the warrants are signed by judge, and they all Article 4. Article 4 is terrorism. They could take you to death penalty. They executed a lot of people with that. So it was like, hey, and we going after this. They said, yeah, we're just gonna have to watch them. So they end up picking a bunch of people, but not everybody.
Okay.
Because some guys they couldn't find them. And then we collected all the names. We made a copy of the warrants, and we took them back with us because those the stuff that I go make a copy, take them with me, and I go translate them all of them and make them in English and all that, and arrange them, and then we send them up to headquarters to the later become the MNF, which is the multinational force. I, which is Iraq.
How long total were you doing the interpreting thing before you came over here to the United States?
7 years.
7 years. Wow. So what year did you end up coming to the United States then? Because you started off in what, 2003, 2004?
Yeah. I was there from, I was there 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I came in 10.
Okay. All right. So during that time frame, were you the first one to come to the United States, or because of your position there with your family,
this is what I tell
that they were able to get you?
Good. So this is, you got to this point. In 2007, Senator Kennedy here in the Congress came up with the idea of the SIV program, which is a special immigrant visa.
Right.
And they formed I-360. There was 10 parts of it. They expanded 11 parts, and they add an option if you served with if you worked with the armed forces overseas in a combat zone.
Because see, I thought you guys were going to use the death of your brother.
No.
As can we get some asylum here because my family's being targeted?
No.
So it was through the SIV program.
No. And then, believe it or not, because I could use that, but I didn't need it because my brother was already had a relationship with some U.S. Entity for work over there. Because they also, somehow through my cousin and through one of our relatives, they reached out to my brother because he was very knowledgeable in something, and they were making contact with him. But I don't think he got killed just because like he was talking to American, because nobody knows about this stuff. But I didn't need to use that. Believe it or not, I didn't put in for it. It got offered to me.
Really?
So I will tell you, in 2007, they came up with that program. The team leader, the major and the lieutenant I was with, they came in and they said, hey, we want you to go. I told them, not now. One of the guys with me, he actually came. He came in 2008. I remember the guy was working with me, but with other battalion. And then the first sergeant with me was like, say, hey, this guy, he said, because he did all this, they said, hey, and this guy, oh my God, man, this guy gonna cause us so much trouble. Once he landed, he's very hairy, it's like a lot of hair like there coming out. Like he doesn't have a beard. The chest with the beard. The first sergeant was very funny, man. He says, like, he's like very tall guy. The first, like he hardly walks it through here. And he's like, man, this guy, once he lands in the U.S., man, in the airport, you're gonna think he's like a freaking monkey or something, man, with all this hair. Making fun of him, like, it was like, you need to shave, man. And he ended up going, actually. And then they asked me, they said, I don't think so now, because I think my mom was my main concern. So I told them, hey, I think my mom not prepared yet. And I kind of like the job here. And eventually I'm gonna go. And I'm still young, like nothing. They said, yeah, definitely. So they said, why don't you do it now? I thought they kind of thrown on me. I thought, no, not now. We still, that was like after 4 years. And then, I become pretty senior on the team because there's a lot of other translators with me. And then when we switched gears, so we left this, they broke down these teams. And then I went with a combat battalion. I worked and jointly with other teams, here and there. And we did so much, operation too. And then when I switched to combat battalions, I was directly with the commander. We were all the commanders that I worked with, they were pretty badass. So we were the first people, me and the commander, kicking the doors and go first and do stuff. I remember, I think it was 2008. Yeah, 2008. The commander that I was with, and he was a 1-star general, they told me, hey, we want you to become American. You need to go there. You don't belong to here. You don't belong to here. You don't look like these people. You need to be an American. So the division commander, the 2-star, hit me on my chest here. He said, hey, when that time, you cannot come in without the division commander.
Okay.
the division commander has to recommend you. And then the division commander told me, you need to go. Believe it or not, like, it's not that I'm talking about myself, but like I loved my job and I was very committed and I did a really great job. So I become kind of like a high level guy, but I still get dirty. I still go in the mission. We still do the stuff. And they had me point of contact to all the other unit interpreters. They had like 50 people because every platoon has 2 or 3. And those guys, they all with me. So when they come in, I tell them, hey, you guys need to do this. We need to do that. So I start showing them everything to all these new guys coming in to work because the whole atmosphere of the war changed completely. So I get to that level. The brigade commander comes and tell me, hey, I'm going to take you. I want you to come work with me. And I tell him, no, sir, I'm not leaving the battalion.
So who is it? So they pick you up as an interpreter. You are working for the United States military, right? Who are you reporting to, though? Who's your boss?
Like, my boss is whatever commander for that unit.
Okay, so you did you have your boss for the day for the mission is that commander, right? But did you have someone else over here that was keeping tabs on all of the interpreters?
No,
was there a 3-letter agency type looking out after you guys? Or?
So those guys, they were 3-letter agencies. They were living under us because they need our security.
Okay,
and then they need our help. And then at the end of the day, check this out. They need my help.
Yeah,
because they knew right away. They always come and they said, hey, they recommend you, man. So we want to, if we want to know something at them, yeah, you guys will come, you just come find me and then I will help you out. So a lot of them was like coming after me because I'm the main one there that I know everything. So they will come in and they will get with me and then 100% at them, hey, wherever you guys, I don't care. You wake me up, you call me because we're 24/7.
Now you had a pretty fast operational tempo, right? Going in and out, missions. Were you close to, I mean, did you suffer any losses with the interpreters there? Guys that you were friends with?
Yes,
that type of thing.
When we were in Salman Park, in that area, actually, we had to live in hard standing buildings because the mortars, we were taking it 4 or 5 times a day. Luckily, it was a military academy. So the Iraqis build all hard stand concrete, So they gave us a building and we were living there. The other interpreter at that time, what we were doing, when they send us to a FOB, to operation, we don't have our higher command is in the green zone. So check this out. What they do with us, they will attach us to the combat units controlling the AOR, the area of operation. So I remember when we went to Salman Park, we were under the 101st, and 101st, when we came in, they had only 1 month or 2 months, and they were ripping off. They weren't going back to the US.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Deployment was about a year, was a year there. And then it was a 3-2 came. 3rd Brigade, 2nd ID.
Okay.
Black Knight. I have a picture I will show you. I was on the top of the 50 call with their badge. Those guys came in and they were very cool. Like I love their intelligence guys. They were very nice guys and all that. So we had to live in a place where that company was providing like security if we need to, because we need a QRF. So when we go out, us and the commandos, and we stuck, there's only 12 of us. And then we'll have fire support. We can call for air support, so we get Apaches and all that. But if we need a QRF, then there's a company from a 3-2 will send people to us. And usually when we get in trouble, actually, now QRF comes in. I still remember him. It was captain, his name Pinto, and another first sergeant. And those guys, they were like, they born together, like they look the same. And those guys, they were very, very cool. They were very good. We got blown up. We've seen so much stuff. The first sergeant is very, very cool guy. He's young and it's pretty, a lot of energy. The captain was amazing. You don't feel like, they were really coming there. They were very good soldiers, like they want to do. So when we had that building.
So you felt comfortable around those guys, right?
Exactly, yeah. And then they really appreciate you because you feel, I always felt I'm part of the team. And then they put all their interpreter in a building, hot stand building. Those guys, they were fun, okay? At this time, you better not, nobody knows you. Those 7 years you're talking about him, I was undercover. I challenge any undercover operator, live a life like me.
Yeah.
Those 7 years, I go see my family once a month, sometimes every 2 months. My friends ask about me. They don't know what I am, and it's pretty shady. I walked back. The way I dress has to be different. If you wear a boot, if you wear a tan, whatever, pants or whatever, they will spot you. Al-Qaeda spotters everywhere, man, sitting in every corner. And then it's going to take only one shot.
How did you leave then to go see your family? Were you out on deployment, or were you out rolling around? You would break off, or did you actually physically leave the fob and go drive?
When we were in Shield, we were lucky because the distance from the fob to outside, it was pretty long. So nobody knows where you're coming from. You're coming from that road, but that road has the Directorate of the Traffic Police, has the police academy, and has the fob within the police academy, and has a bunch of other building. And when you come up to the main road...
So they don't know exactly where you're coming from. You just give them any bullshit story in case you get stopped, right?
Yeah, and then when you come to the main road, that area was a commercial area.
Okay.
Everybody has his own business and all that. So there was no business for these people.
Okay, so the route was good cover for you then,
just
right?
to get off.
Okay.
But when I get to, it's pretty nice area, but it has a lot of activities, you know? Like I literally one time I went back to work, I walked over the IED. And then check this out. One time I left home in the morning and I just walked and I I go on the bus, low profile, or take a taxi, leave to a different place, and then from a different place, take a taxi and go somewhere else. It's just a decoy. And believe it or not, I'm walking and it's 6 in the morning. So nobody can see you. I'm walking, you know, and it's a little cold, chilly. I'm wearing a jacket. And I get to the end of the road and it's all sea wire. The people in the area start sea wiring everything so nobody can drive it through. And the sea wire collect a lot of trash and stuff. And it's a big pile. And you have a little opening in the end. It's a building and a house, like house corner, and the street normal, and a big building from here, 3-story building, apartments. And the sea wire going across the streets all the way to the sidewalk is only like maybe 1 foot open to the wall. You move and move. So I'm just walking, and I just hear boom, 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 boom. I know the Humvees. I'm living freaking in Humvee. I said, oh shit. I turn around, a convoy behind me. And then they were from 10th Mountain. And then some dickhead comes out. I think he was the platoon sergeant because he's not supposed to do that. And check this out what he told me. Hey, you, stop, blah, blah, blah. I looked at him. For what, man? I was like, I'm just walking. I got to go to work. And then he said, no, stop. We're trying to cross. I told him, okay, why don't you cross? We cannot cross if I'm here. You're going to move the sea wire for us.
Right.
Just in case there's time. So you think I go remove the sea wire, and then if there is an ID, I blew up. And he said, no, he cannot tell me. Listen. And I told him, hey, I don't want to tell you, man, but if I do this, you might going to do a lot of talking. And he told me, what do you mean a lot of talking? I told him, well, I mean, you're gonna get big people calling back here because the fob in my area, I end up working later in it, called Falcon. It was really bad area because there's a lot of activities. So I mean, am I gonna I don't want to tell you something wrong. I don't want to have this conversation. I need to get to work. I tell him, hey dude, I just tell you straight. I work for a called NIPIT team. It's a national police. It actually was a commando transition team. I tell him, I work for a colonel, man, and a major, and it's a commandos team. So these guys, I'm gonna go. And I've been working for a long time, and I know this. What are you doing now? It's not supposed to. And he looked at me, and he just walked back and turned around and ran.
You're good.
I went and told him, Major. He said, is that really tough? I told him, yeah, man. He's like, we don't know. I told him, we cannot do that, man. I'm trying to leave now because and then believe it or not, he left. They turned around, went back, and then I crossed the sea wire, and I got on the street. There is a railway. I crossed to the other side of the streets where there's like a high school, and the high school has a Jersey barrier. So, and is it normal? There's nothing quiet. And then I go between the Jersey barrier and I get behind the Jersey barrier so I can get a taxi to go to the other side. And I just hear a papa, right, 2 rounds over my head. And I went like this under the Jersey barrier. You get bullets from everywhere. Because it's kind of like a war zone.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's around you, right?
It's a war zone, and then you get, I got used to it because, when we're in patrol, we get always bullets from everywhere.
Pop shots.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah.
So what, you have this guy telling you to get after it to take the SIV and come to the States,
yeah,
right?
So
how did that work with by you saying yes and your family? Who were you able to?
Luckily, I was.
How did the exit take place?
So at that time when they actually offered to me the general said, "Hey, you need to go there, man. You don't need to be here." And I told him, "Yes, but I feel I started something and I want to finish it."
You still have more to do.
I thought maybe when you guys leaving, he said, "Well, we don't know when we're gonna leave, but you also need to look after yourself. You've been doing all this work, and then you don't deserve to be here. You kind of person need to be an American. You don't need to be here." And then at that time, I started like kind of talking to my mom, and then my mom, the things got really bad. So my mom told me, "You know what? I don't want you to be here anymore. I think you
Things
should."
got really bad with the war? Yeah.
With the with
The insurgency
because now you have another parts. There's the government grow, and the government is more corrupted and ruin a lot of things. So it become more like we start pulling out, but we gave a lot of authority to the government, and the government kind of messed up everything for the people. So that's the points when I remember we were securing the election, and when you go to the people goes to elect, they were killing them. So my mom at this time told me, "Hey, I think you need to get up. It's time for you." They actually, the general told me, "Hey, and your letter is already ready. My recommendation. I want to recommend you to go." So I remember I didn't do anything. It's like the general did this paper for me. I was all just getting the documentation and send it to the U.S. Embassy in the email. Like a couple weeks later, they sent me a chief of mission approval.
Okay.
That's the chief of the mission, the ambassador, sign on you. Yeah, you're going. The next step, you just need to fill up the I-3C, and then DS-30 comes to DHS so they can clear you, and then you get your visa. And then I remember everybody, like the recommendation of everybody coming in, "Hey, this is a lot of recommendation." And then my intelligence officer, he was like, "Hey, he brought me a threat statement." So he typed in a whole like a memo from him and sign it and then explain all the thread that we goes through and all that with the
Good.
and it went through, and I got my visa, and I came in here.
Did you come here solo?
Yeah.
Okay.
My family didn't want to come in because they already established there.
They
But
were
my
okay.
mom was already telling me, "Hey, I don't worry about you, my sisters. I don't worry about myself. You have an opportunity to get out. I want you to get out of here. So can you still safe."
You're older, you're mature,
Yeah.
you're a legal scholar.
Yeah, I
You
brought
became
my
an
college
attorney.
there.
You got involved in the United States, helping out with interpreting in Iraq. You were
My
making income.
resume, yeah, I made income was good. My resume got filled up with a lot of stuff because what I was actually doing, I get to do so much things, you know. I start going to meetings. They start, coming after me. "Hey, we need analysis for this. We do a concept of mission here. We do something. What do you think about this and this and that?" And believe it or not, the SOFA, which is the security forces agreement between us and Iraq, in north of Baghdad sector, they choose me to do the meeting between the Iraqi generals and U.S. generals.
Clout. They trust you.
And I did it, and I have 2 slides in Arabic and English, and I did it for them. They kicked the U.S. citizen category 2 interpreter, and they told me, "You the one gonna do it." And then the colonel was running the meeting. He's from Hawaii. He speaks English. Nobody understand him. And then there was one of the company commanders then came in and hit me. He said, "Hey, God help you, man, with that. I'm not the one. I understand it." He told, "How you understand this guy? I don't understand." And then it was actually really good. And then the Iraqi generals, they all like me because I'm very respectful.
Good.
I know the culture and I know this stuff. So I didn't have any problem with that. And then
how did that look? Them saying your visa's been approved. Did you just
my packet?
Yeah, they banged you in, huh?
And I'm sitting there. I sit there, and then they just took it. Not even like 5 minutes. And they came back. He goes, "Here you go. That's your."
Excellent.
Yeah. And then
All
I
right.
was like, and then I got home. I got to the one of the lieutenant colonels with me was already have an apartment for me in Austin.
Awesome.
Because one of my other friends, he was our fire support officer. We worked together, me and him. And then he came back when we were there. He was training. We used to work out and all that. He was training to take the selection for the special forces. And when I came back here. He's the one telling me, said, "Hey, my wife and my family wife are from Austin. It's lovely. You're going to like it. Come over here." So we close and see you. And then when I came back here, I found him already at the selection. He's actually a major now. He's like, I don't know, major lieutenant colonel. He's a team leader. Yeah. And he's very good guy.
Yeah.
The other lieutenant colonel that I worked with, I actually still in touch with him. He's very, very good guy. He actually took care of me. And then when I came in, imagine when I came in, the next day I went open my mailbox. I found my social security card. 35 days later, my green card's in the mail. Check this out. I'm giving you the timelines since I came in here. I got to my apartment. And then the next day I found my social security came from Temple, Texas. And then 35 days later, green cards came in. Let me see. I will give you the timeline exactly because was around September or October. And then September, the year after that,
okay,
4th, I was there.
Wow.
I was the United States citizen.
A citizen, my man.
With a ceremony.
My man.
And they honor me by myself.
Really? Solo?
Solo.
Kick ass, man.
And in front of, I don't know how many thousand.
Incredible. And I'm just, you and I have a unique knowledge about timelines for all of that stuff.
Exactly. Because like I tell you, when people tell me, when did you, I tell me yes.
I'm not going to say you sailed through because you did it for 7 years.
Exactly. So
those people waiting in the regular line, they were not putting body armor on. They didn't have an M16. They weren't risking their life day in and day out in Iraq, serving the United States as an Iraqi. So you did your time prior to.
And when I came,
but you sailed through.
Exactly. And then believe it or not, like, I'm going to tell you something crazy. I knew, like, I got my approval for the visa. And then when they give you the visa, you'll have 3 months to leave the country. I scheduled my leave in the last week. So I flew, I think it was day 6 or 7 of the month. Do you know when did I left my unit? The 2nd. That day, I told them bye.
Right.
And then amazing Sergeant Domas, he's from Texas here. He's a state trooper. Now, he was an amazing guy. He was the guy who was actually my link to the like taking care of all the stuff for us because he was an intelligence NCO. And then I worked with the company because we drove down. We were getting ready to leave. So we drove down. We were division. We cut down to brigade. And then the brigade cut down to battalion. And then we cut down to one company. So it was like very, very low drove. So I was the only one there. And then at the first, I was like, hey, today I'm going to leave. I told them all of them bye and all these guys like with me. And then the 2nd I left and then the 6th or the 7th I flew out. So I had only those 4 or 5 days just to pack up. And then tell my family bye.
Did you ever think you were making the right decision or not taking it? Did you have any apprehensions about it? Or was it, or did it seem like or was it a pretty easy decision for you?
So I was against the idea in the beginning because to leave the country, but that was before the war. Because I saw a lot of people got out and it was unplanned. And I don't think so they made they didn't meet the ambition that I want to have. So I said, and you know what? And this is something I agree, me and Trump on it. He's saying it every day now. He's saying, if you were not able to do something in your country, you're not going to be able to do here something. Yes, it's the land of opportunity and all that, but also there's a lot of distraction. So when I came in here, I came in with a plan. Like my mom told me, okay, I left and my mom told me, hey, I know you're a good man because that's how I know you. I trust you. And I know how you're going to be doing very good, And then, it's sad for me because I couldn't see my mom for a long time. I couldn't see her for like, I don't know, 8 years, 9 years. Yeah. And then she passed away when I was in Afghanistan. And nobody told me. I was talking to my sister the day before because I was trying to Skype with her. So she knows because over there, how they know the culture. They know Afghanistan is worse than Iraq. So I was always, every weekend, I go to the MWR and then I Skype with my mom. So she makes sure I'm okay.
Right.
And then she passed away. I spoke to my sister. She didn't want to tell me. And I end up going to check on the MWR and I'm checking my Facebook and I see my nephew put in a consultant on the Facebook. So I go back and I call my sister and then my sister started crying. She said,
I didn't want to tell you, Habibi.
I don't want to tell you. She told us don't tell him because he's in somewhere else dangerous and all that. And then I was like, I'm a grown-ass man, but I sit on the sidewalk like this. I was at the gym, and then I got out on the MWR with it. So I said, let me check before I go to bed. And then
you were not expecting that.
And I sit on the sidewalk like this, and I is that really happening? So I kind of I started crying, and I sit like this. And then, my first sergeant walks by me. He was a very good guy. He was originally from Vietnam. He saw me crying, and I was one of the toughest motherfucker in the unit. I was on the scout team. There were My first lieutenant, it was amazing guy from Boston, Lieutenant Capstick. He always told me, hey, we got together, I was with him all the time. I don't let him, he go out, so I go with him. And then, and I see the Afghani kids, and I have all the MRE candies with me.
Right,
and I tell him, hey, so we don't get shot, okay? And then, and I'm still like this crying. The first sergeant came in, and then he said, hey, what's wrong, man? He came and sat down next to me. I told him, I guess my mom passed away, and then I don't know. And then he hugged me and all that. And the next day we were doing something, whatever, and he told me, no, you're gonna stay in the rear detachment. You're not going nowhere. You're not in good situation.
Yeah.
And
that's good.
And believe it or not, the very morning, in the morning, my battalion commander came in looking for me, and he knew me because he was, check this out, my battalion commander when I was here was commando's team leader when he was back deployed. Major that I worked with, he was a major.
Yeah.
So he came in, he told me, hey man, I heard, I'm sorry, really. We already in the brigade, we pushed it down to the division commander, and the division commander pushed it to the user pack because I was at 25th in Hawaii. And then he said the user pack, he need to sign on you. They wanted to send me back to my mom's funeral. And they said, hey, don't worry about nothing. We're going to fly you to Kuwait, and then from there. And
yeah,
then,
we got it.
And he said, we already got you. You get to your home. And I told him, the embassy is like 15 minutes. He said, yes. And there's a standby special forces team if we need
clout,
And then the next morning, the 4-star user pack commander comes back. He said, hell no, I'm not sending one of my soldiers there. It's very dangerous. I saw a star coming back. So I'm sorry, I really apologize. And the brigade commander and the division commander and the battalion commander came back and apologized from me. I told him, no, sir, you don't need to apologize. I cannot do nothing. I mean, it's my mom. Yes, I'm kind of like a broken heart, but he said, no, because you're very important to us. And you're very special because you're the only one from the other guys.
It's military life, right?
Yeah, he told me, you're the only one we have, and then you carry yourself different. You're the only one we have. Everybody else is like, average, but it's not like you. Right. So the 4-star, it doesn't want to send you because he said, no, I'm not going to, even if I have a special forces team can get there in like minutes, but I'm not going to send you. I don't want to, jeopardize your life, and you are your soldier. I'm not going to sacrifice one of my guys.
Yeah.
So I told him, it's okay, sir. Yeah, don't worry about it. I really appreciate you guys going after this. He said, no, we all know, because if any but one of us have this situation, we need to go and see our family. This is something normal.
Yeah.
But, I appreciate that they were looking at me. And when I left the surface, the day that I told them I'm going to leave, I was the only soldier gets farewell. They pulled the battalion formation, and all the NCOs and the company commanders and battalion commanders pulled me out, and they said, anybody have something to say? Everybody said,
had something to say, huh?
And you know what? The lieutenant came up because I said, I want to say something. And he came up because I was with him. They said, hey, this is the guy, I never seen a guy like him. We were all together. And then he was like, tell me, hey, I like these guys with me. I said, oh, you going with us? Yeah, we're going out. Right. because I seen the shit before, they know.
Yeah.
So I told me, yeah, you guys, if I will take bullets for you. Okay. So, but we're going to be okay. That's the things, you make an impact and you feel good. And then it's like, because you have a goal. When I came in here, I already have a plan. Because
now that's something I want to back you up on a bit, because you get the SIV, you come to the United States, you land in Austin, right? And then we kind of jumped around a little bit, and then you told us that you're back in Afghanistan. So let's cover that time when you landed in Austin.
So let me
what you do, what made you, obviously you joined the military.
Let me tell you something, this one. I flew from there. The U.S. Embassy told me, this is your visa, everything's here. You can leave within this 3 months. But I was still working because my unit was, don't have nobody. They have a few guys, excuse me, but the commander has me. I'm the only one there. So I stayed until the last week, like I told you. And then the U.S. Embassy told me, this is your ticket. You're going to meet this person. He's from us. We're not going to be, you're going to meet with him. He's an Iraqi guy, works with the embassy and all that. He already once you get to the Baghdad International Airport, you're going to have your ticket there, and then you can go. I got with the guy. He gave me the ticket. I didn't pay anything. They bought the ticket for me. They said, when you come to the U.S. and you work, you're going to pay $40 a month for the ticket.
Okay.
And then it's nothing, no credit, whatever was. I said, yeah. I told him, no, but I can buy my ticket. I said, no, we want to help you out so you can get there. And then I get there, and then I come here, and then I I came in, I came in, I was carrying a $10,000 with me. So I have $10,000 with me cash in my backpack, which is I still have since 2008.
The backpack.
Bought it up. We were, let me tell you, we were living in a small cub like this, wood, and then MWR very small. And then I remember I was shopping online and I bought, you remember the Tiger Direct? The website, they cancel it?
Yeah.
I bought it for $68. It's, I think it's called Targus or something, the bag. So like one of those good, like a brand. And I bought it. I paid $68 in 2008. That bag went with me everywhere. And it is still over there in my office. It has all my stuff in it. You know what it has? Matter of fact, I took it with me to the school and it has all my books in it.
Okay.
So it's still the books and all the stuff in it. And when I look now, I tell my wife, I tell, hey, do you know how long is this? Like,
right.
like,
how many miles that bag has traveled?
Yep. And it's a brand new. So I came in here. The first month I got here, I paid half of the ticket. And the second day I paid, the second month I paid the second month. And I close it up. And then I get back to all the people, they're talking about migrants and all that. I'm the type of the migrants America need, I want, because we come here to build the country. This is something my dad told me. When you live in a place, you need to have affiliation. So I have affiliation to the country. And a lot of my friends, they told me, dude, you're more Americanized than all of us. Tom, it's not Americanized, man, but this is your country. That's your home. So my dad was telling me, whatever place you stay in, this is your home. You got to build your affiliation. You got to build your love to that place.
Adapt.
Exactly. So when I came in, I took my SVAB and all this stuff and I went to the army. And when I graduated and went to my unit, we met in the first meet and greet with our big main sergeant major. And he came in and that was a big group of us because there's so many units. And then he spoke to every one of us. And I remember it was really, I felt bad for other kids with me. Like he was asking people, I was in the second line. And then he asked some guy like before me, why you joined the army? Oh, I was, and his answer, oh, I was about to be in homeless. My mom and dad kicked me out. You're 18 years old and then you're going like, and then go. And then there was nothing really. So I went there and he looked at like, okay, like, it's, he asked the other guy, well, I came in and trying to get some school and, I couldn't make school. And he asked like, these guys are like, oh my God, like, this is like really bad. He came into me. So I said, what about you? Why you joined the army? I told him, well, Sergeant Major, I want to serve the country. I don't need a school like this guy. I already have enough school. I could be going to OCS and become an officer, but I don't need the pay because I have a good resume. I can find a different job. And, I just felt that there's something I need to pay back to this country. And he was like never heard something like this because, I mean, at least I cheered them up, like I was like the only honest person that's like, hey, I told him, I think I need to.
Well, those guys are probably honest too, but they were just shitty.
They're honest, but they're shitty. Like literally one of them, like one of us said, well, Sergeant Major, look, I was homeless. I mean, my drill sergeant in basic, and he was so like, all like this and that and this and that and all that. And I was like this and I was like this. And then private, I was homeless. I was living in a car that doesn't have even tires. I was like, dude, why are you telling the soldiers like this? You need to pump them up. You need to give them confidence. Don't tell them you're homeless. And
yeah, I had two other guys on the podcast, maybe three so far, that they had some legal troubles, man. They had some drinking troubles, and they were not on a good path. And they're like, fuck it, man, I need to go join the Marine Corps. Thank God they did. It saved their life.
Oh,
but, I mean,
by the way, I went to the Marine first. But I was passing at 29.
Oh.
So they thought, I walks in the Marine. It was they all together. I went, spoke to the Marine, and then there was like, all the big guys. They stand down and I thought, oh man, like really? He said, oh shit, you already passed like few months. And I told him, sorry man, for your loss. And he told me, he told me, you know what? You look, I really losing, man. Somebody like you.
Yeah.
I thought, oh man, let me go to the army. So I was like, it didn't, take me that long, like I tell you. So by the year after, not even a year, less than a year.
You sworn?
I was already.
Oh, so you swearing, you join the army, you go through basic training, right?
Yeah.
Did that feel, I don't want to say useless, but did it feel like?
It felt like, I felt like, like when I went to basic, I wasn't, I think I was the oldest one. No, there was one reclass with me.
I mean, because Because you're probably the oldest guy in the class, right?
No, there was one older than me, 1 or 2 years. He was a reclass sergeant from Navy.
Okay. All right.
So he was older than me, I think.
You got all these young kids. I guess the point I want to ask or make is, it's like, you're older, right? You did war for 7 years for the U.S. Army, right? And then now you're in basic training.
Drill sergeant,
you're in basic training.
My drill sergeant, he was a reserve.
And you probably had more combat experience than the guys teaching.
That's what I'm telling you. My platoon sergeant, he was reserve and back again on active duty, like a active reserve. Right. But he was a state trooper in North Carolina too. So he was kind of no country guy, but he used to call me grandpa.
Grandpa.
Yeah, but I was like, I'm not the older one. Like, he's like, oh, look at this guy. Like, there's another guys. There was 3 NCOs, like petty officers, whatever, from the Navy. And I was like, the amount of people that I see, amount of people that I'm seeing in what I worked before. And I'm talking not people, I'm talking serious NCOs in the Army, the Marines, and the Air Force. I mean, motherfucking sergeant majors, like motherfucking special forces sergeant majors, Navy SEALs, guys.
Right.
Regular like sergeant majors, they like, they just look around like this. I met guys from the cavalries, like, those guys are amazing, man.
I don't know, man. If I was in charge of you in boot camp and if I had the power, I think I'd be like, hey, man, you know how to march, right? Yes. You know your rank structure? Yeah. All right, man, you're good. You're good. You're done. Congratulations. And trying to get rid of you. I had to get you out to the Army.
And then I'm looking like, you got those 3 dirtbags from the Navy. They didn't do nothing. Like they come into reclass,
Right.
And it was like, and then he just telling me like, there was a staff sergeant from somewhere else. He's coming. Basically, Navy have to send him. Basically, there's like 3 or 4 of them, and then one of them was pretty cool. He was Colombian, but he barely speaks English. So they were that one of the drill sergeants. He was a Puerto Rican. Was making fun of him. But this is like, and then these guys like, oh, they talking like really, and we go do all this sticks, the situational training lanes. We go there, and then we get hits with IEDs and convoys, and those guys are freaking out all over me like this. So I take charge. Hey, get this and do this, blah blah blah. And then they trying to pull me back. And they're like, no, like these kids like, yeah, but they got freaking these guys like, we gotta die, man. And these guys like, it's like,
let them learn.
And they don't want to put me as a squad leader. They don't want to put me in this. They put in all these guys. I'm looking like some guy with me. He's a 24 years old, has 4 kids. And I'm looking at dude, like I'm 30 something and I don't have no kids. And they're like, when did you get 4? He was an air traffic controller. He was a very, very good guy. Some other kids just came in out of high school. They put them in charge on the detail to cut the grass. They start acting up better than Sergeant Major of the Army. I was like, dude, you're cutting the grass. Like, what do you like,
The first taste of power.
We haven't seen nothing. And then, you know what? They knows. Then in the end, don't Sergeant, the one was like, I'm homeless and all that. And then he was like, and the end, towards the end in the blue phase, because you got white phase and red phase, or the blue phase close to graduation. And we all sitting like this, outside. We're doing a training exercise. And we were doing all the 16 rock march and all that. And then he's like, there was talking, because he was a field artillery. So they went to, I think he was 17 fire brigade. And it was a good brigade. So he just said, I was like, we were doing this and a combat and this and this and this and that. And then this is combat. And then they turned, he said, and then he probably have seen more than this. I said, oh, he's like,
so did you sail through basic training? I mean, was it pretty easy for you physically and all that?
Yeah.
All the regular Army stuff?
The main things I have, I'm very strong mentally. That's the things get you out. So all this special boys and whatever, you actually make the best of it by being strong mentally. Yes, you need your physical, but I tried it. When sometimes you do so much stuff at the same time, you feel tired. But there's some people, they maybe cannot run fast. They run enough. They achieve the military standards. They shoot. They achieve they achieve all the standards. Not they exceeded too crazy, but you know what? They have a long fitness to go. They can stay there 3-4 months doing the same things over and over and the same level. It's better than somebody can run a mile in 6 or 5 minutes. And then in the second mile, he will crash. It's better to have one runs at 12, 13, 14 minutes and continue because you are strong mentally. Majority of the people quit from their, mind. And then check this out. When I was E4, they were putting me in charge on my platoon.
What MOS did you get out of boot camp? What you
So
enlist for?
I wanted to get an infantry, and then I end up they told me, no, you don't get infantry. You're gonna train for we're gonna send because I score very good at this spot. So they end up sending me to the ordnance. So
Okay.
I end up doing, more of close to like bomb, electronics,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
So you didn't want to fall back on any DLAB
No,
stuff
no,
and any of the language.
no.
You didn't want to get involved with that
So
at
that
all, or would
was
that have been or would that have been a secondary?
So that was the second chapter of my life
Okay.
because when I got my top secret clearance, and then my brigade told me, hey, you know what? It was the career council told me, hey, let's do 35 Papa, which is the signal intelligence things. So I thought, yeah, we can do that one. And then it come close to my re-enlistment, and then 6 months before my re-enlistment, well, you start going through even if you're thinking about it, realist or not, they will start putting you in the ACAP to show you how and then during the ACAP, they put us in a class and they had us to make some accounts on certain website like LinkedIn and then all this stuff, for like to show you how you transition to
Right.
because when the time when my time when I'm about to leave, army start changing. There was a new sergeant major came in. He was the TRIDOC sergeant major, very very good guy. I met him personally. And check this out, in the ACAB, everybody's civilian getting ready to leave. I'm the only one in uniform every day. And he came actually and asked me, and he told me, I love it. You're still in uniform. Tom, yeah, Tom, this uniform, I love it. As always, I don't care. No, I never gonna get changed no more. So when I made an account at a certain website, and then not even a week later, Sunday morning, I'm sleeping. Somebody called me from Forum Bragg. Said, hey, are you such and such a Tom? Yeah. The guy spoke with little accent. So I knew that, oh, hold on, wait a minute. How many dialects I do in Arabic? And then I was like, wait a minute. Hey, you from Morocco. I know the accent. He said, yeah, how did you know, man? Dude, he said, hey, so I have something for you. What do you have? He said, well, we want you to go overseas. For what? He said, it's going to be a special boys mission, but we wanted you because you already military qualified and you have a lot of experience
Real
before.
world experience.
Exactly. And then you know how military works. So you're going to blend in as a soldier. I'm okay. Tom, but can you send me more information? He said, yeah, I will call you tomorrow. It's Sunday now. Tom, okay. He said, I just wanted to make contact with you. So he called me the next day and he explained to me that time, yeah, but dude, I still have like a few months left. I think I had 3 months left. And then I was in between to re-enlist and take the 35 Papa. So he told me, okay, if you want to do what we want you to do with us, we can give you a letter and then we release you early.
Yeah, and get you pulled early.
I'm okay. So they send me some material online. It's kind of test. So I took the material, I write it up, all of it in both languages and sending it to them. And then another guy called me and spoke to me for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes. We were talking about the election and talking about, stuff and the weather and all that, just to see how advanced I am. So I thought, hey, just, uh, you can feel good, man. I can sing. I can do so much stuff. He said, yeah, man, I saw your resume. 20-page resume. And I had a counselor. She was very nice. She was with me every day when we do the recap. We write down my resume and then I put it all. And then he told me, well, you're going to go and then this and this and this and that. And then the pay is amazing. No taxes, nothing of that. And I said, okay. And I look at the way it is running. I had a dental appointment at the hospital for my regular checkup. And I remember I walks in there and I'm waiting on my appointment and I'm watching TV like this on base. And then they pulled the news. Oh, and then, things getting escalated in Syria, blah, blah, blah. I don't know which one was. I think it was BBC or CNN. Then, special operation just did the raid and picked up the main financial guy in Syria for ISIL. I said, what? ISIL? Since when? We already killed them, all of them in 2006. And then I go look it up again. And I called my sister, hey, what's up? She said, oh, your boys got back again. And now they taking all this shit after Mr. Obama pulled everybody because Obama pulled us up. I was there when,
Yeah.
And I was like,
well, they're just a JV team. It's hard.
Bullshit. They pulled us up. I was there. And my base, I deliver my base with the commander to them. Check this out. We ate breakfast at 9 o'clock. We delivered the base by 12. By 1 o'clock, there was no AC left in the base. Everybody from the Iraqi soldiers
came
got
and
their
got
home.
it and
Took it
bounced.
home. I was like, what the hell is this? So I tell you, it was horrible.
Did you take that gig? Did you take that contracting gig?
Yeah. Let me tell you this thing. So I said, okay, that's fine. I'm still thinking about it. The guy was very good. So I did all this process for them. And then they called me. They said, hey, we got it. And this place, it's, you have already clearance. And they told me it's going to be something. I already worked with these guys over there, but within my units. And I was their go-to because I get better stuff than their guys. So they were always coming in. They're cool guys and all that. So I told them, yeah, okay. I already have experience with these guys, so I know how things works. They said, yeah, definitely.
Were you still single at this time?
Yeah, I was still single. So I got to... It was actually, when I was here in El Paso first, when I came in, because what happened is, I told you I'm not lazy. When I was in Austin, I picked up a job over here at Fort Bliss and McGregor Range. So I start coming in and do pre-deployment training for the units. Yeah. Units comes here and train. We were doing all their operation here and go. That's when I met the first sergeant in the first team I was. Okay. He saw me here and said, hey, you what? Oh, yeah, I'm here.
Small world. That's why you'd be nice to everyone you meet, right?
Yeah, and I met a lot of the guys over here, and they were like, oh, shit, that's you coming in, man. And I remember when I came the first week, the first day I landed, the next day, Lieutenant Colonel came in and took me to Killeen. We went to Fort Hood because my unit was there. And then I walked in there. They had a football game and it was a party and all that. And I walks in there, they don't know. I walks in there. First, I went and saw the colonel.
Right.
Colonel told me, hug me. Because what happened is we were 3 battalions. Our 2nd battalion, the one close to us, they fell in an ambush. And it was Hezbollah. They hit one of their convoy, happened to be the battalion commander convoy. They took his legs both. So the commander was a very, very good guy, amazing guy. The sergeant major pick up a QR team, goes over there, sniper shoot. I think it was Sergeant Davis, the gunner for the sergeant major, and shot him and kill him. So we had a big fight over there. And when we went back there, I wanted to see them all. So I walked in first to the colonel. He hugged me. And I was just going, oh man, you're here, like in the office. And then Sergeant Major came and saw me. So they said, hey, let's go to the field. Nobody's seeing you now. So I walks into the field and all these guys look, oh man, Hawk, you here? What the fuck you doing? They're not like, they still, man, we're locked up. I remember I walks in and they're like, they're like,
Hawk? Oh, shit, Hawk.
Because they see, they know, because I was the SCO. The SCO is the squadron commander. So I was with the squadron commander. I go everywhere I want. I go everything. And even like sometimes, no. I know about the clearances. I know. And tell officer, dude, fuck this shit. You're like doing all this shit for us. What are you talking about? Come on in. We trust you more than these guys. Like, and then I go in and they all smoking cigar, outside. And then I go hang out with them. And then I tell them it's really good. And I had a really good relationship with them. And then everybody else loved me. I go sometimes FOPs and I see some young soldiers. They come in, hey man, this like, because they were in a different unit with me. And I know, just like now, from the little ones, like a lot of them, they were telling me, oh dude, you hanging out with us? I tell them, oh hell yeah. I hang out with the privates and all that. We go eating because I'm with the commander. I tell them, yeah, it doesn't matter, man. I know the whole battalion. You all guys my friends. Oh, but you work with, I tell them, yeah, it doesn't matter. It was okay. I work with the whole unit, so it doesn't matter. Whatever you guys need, come and find me. So I remember I walks in and they fly in. Oh man, like every day, when I see them, hey, what the fuck you doing? I just came in, motherfucker, last night.
Right,
I was like, hey, they came hug me and all that. Said, yeah, it was really good time. Yeah. So it is like these guys. They told me, hey, you're gonna go back over there, and then everything's gonna be okay. So they send me a letter. I spoke to my commander. I took it and went to the brigade commander, and the brigade read it, and then they know already it was all the stuff going on there and all that. So the letter saying, hey, you're gonna continue serving your country. We're just gonna take you from this place. You're gonna go to a place need you more than
Right.
that's what. So the brigade commander convinced and signed it. He told me, they're gonna utilize your
Yeah, I mean, why
experience
stand in the way of that, right?
exactly. No, he signed it. And then they did the farewell for me and process
That's
all
great.
my paper. And then I was feeling bad because I don't want to leave the army. I kind of got used to it. But I was like, I mean, it's a new chapter of my life and I'm going
Yeah.
to go do even something better. They were so happy to. My commander, the red commander was really mad because, and in the first sergeant, I was like, no, dude, like, I don't want to lose people like you, man. It's like, I told him, yeah, I said, this is not good for the army. I told him, yeah, but, the good things, I told him, I feel the same way, but the good things is like, I'm going to go do better stuff. Just being here back in the state and then training and doing stuff.
Yeah, you got to be careful holding people back, right?
Yeah.
Because that can have a negative impact. You and I have witnessed things. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
You don't. I never want to get into a position where I'm trying to hold people back. If they want to leave, you have to let them go, whether it's going to hurt you or it may not be good for them, but you got to let them go. You have to. As soon as someone gets in the head that they want to leave, they want to move on, you have to support that. You have to let them go, man, because if you say no, you stand in their way and that could turn into a negative cancer. And you don't want that.
He did. And then there was a gentleman. He was a very old, big black guy. He was the one actually processed my paper from the civilian, the defense. He did all my paper. And then he told me, why they didn't, because you have to do the clearance paper and all that. And he told me, why they didn't sign this? I told him, well, like, I kind of feel bad because he's retired from the army. I'm like, I don't want to leave the army because I love the army and I think I have a lot of good stuff and, qualities does the army need. People like me should be there to help. But my commanders and all of them, kind of like they feeling bad because he said, no, man, don't worry about it. You do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
You gotta move on with your life and then
Yeah, those
do what
commanders
you
aren't
gotta
going to
do.
stick around because they're worried about
Exactly.
because they're
Yeah.
worried about you. No, they're
But
going to move
it's
on.
because we all in big army.
Yeah.
So we all small in a big
Yeah.
army. And it's not gonna be like, like that. And we go and then so he gave me everything. And my best friend, Huggins, he lives now in San Antonio, him and his wife and his daughter. They love me because I was by myself with them there and I go see them all the time. And we went together, me and him, to Afghanistan and all that. And then they put me in the car and they took me to the plane and I flew and then they're coming back. So I come back here and then I go see my best friend, Phil. He's retired. He was the police chief here at the MP station.
Okay.
And he was deployed to there with me. So he's my friends here and he lives by himself. I come back here, said, hey, don't go nowhere. Come back here. My truck is here. You don't need to get a car or whatever, because my car was coming on the ship. Take a month to come in. And then all my gypso stuff, like whatever the agency that moving are the soldiers, the goods and all that. So I came in, took his truck, and then I was moving around, going to the gym, getting to prepare everything. These guys contact me. They said, hey, what's the holdup? I told him, come on, man, I got to wait on my car and then my goods and stuff to come in. And I got to go to Dallas, collect everything and come back. And then when I get everything and secure it, then we can fly. So I get everything. So I get my car. And then I remember it was like 4 or 5 o'clock afternoon. So Phil, we driving me and him. And he said, hey, let's go on base. So we go on base. And then he said, oh, let me show you that gym. They fixed the gym, do stuff, because I used to go to the gym here. And then I go to the gym in the Northeast, Logan Heights. And then my cat card still active, has everything in it, so I can go wherever I want. And because I'm still on terminal leave, I never took leave, so I have a lot of leave. The terminal leave add up to the month that the brigade commander cut me loose from it. So I come here, and then me and Phil showed me we in the gym, and my phone ring. Okay, I pull my phone. Okay, that number. Okay, hello. It was 610. That's North Carolina. So I know. I said, okay, let me answer. Hello. He said, hey, this is Oday. Tom, yes, sir. Go ahead. He said, hey, this is such and such. I told him, yes, sir. Yeah, can I help you? He said, yes. Ah, man, I know, I'm from such and such, the agent, that organization. Okay, yeah. So he said, I told him, yeah, I've been already working with Mr. Such and Mr. Such. And he said, yeah, well, Mr. Such and Mr. Such, I'm their boss. I'm the director of operations. I thought, really? He said, yeah, I'm the boss. These guys works for me. I'm okay, cool. Can I help you, sir? Anything you want? He said, well, I kind of stuck in a little situation here. I told him, yeah, can I help you to fix the problem? He said, oh, yeah, definitely you're going to help me because you're the only one going to help. I thought, okay, go ahead, sir. What do you want? What do you want? He said, well, I told him I'm just preparing. I got everything. And then I'm just going to get my ticket from you guys and then take off. He said, well, I want you forget about the special boys things. I told him, why? I thought you guys wanted to. He said, yeah, you were 100%. This is your position locked in. But now I had cooler boys, and the cooler boys is more important than the other boys that
Right.
I told him, okay, yeah, that's fine. And he said, and then, you know what? And and he started laughing. And check this out. The new cooler boys, you're going to get paid $25,000 more than what you get in with
I'm liking this
the
phone
good
call.
boys.
I'm liking this phone call more and more. Keep talking.
I told him,
I'm going to try and keep on the phone for an hour.
It's not, I told him, like I really, I live a simple life. I told him I dress really nice. I have a collection of watches. I do everything I want. But like, I'm not crazy about money. As long as I can eat what I want, I can wear what I want, and then I live in a clean, sleep in a clean place. I'm not concerned to be a billionaire or whatever.
Right.
As long as I'm financially secure, money is not that. More the meaningful work. And he said, well, this is gonna be really. The first one was really meaningful, and I'm sure you know what it is. I told him, yeah, I already done. He said, this one's gonna be even more meaningful to you. I told him, okay. He said, but we're gonna change a little bit course of action. I told him, okay. So he said, instead of you gonna be in cool good boys uniform with some special equipments and all that, you're gonna be in a suit. I told him, okay. I kind of ring a bell. I told him, okay, I'm gonna be in a suit. He said, yeah. And he said, and then those new cool boys are more capable of the good boys, but you're gonna be the man over there. So sometimes you're gonna be required to wear in a suit. I thought, oh, you know what, sir? I have 14 suits. I look so good in suits. He said, really? I thought, yeah. He said, no, only one jacket. Seriously. And like every time I used to come and go, like I have 5, 6 suits. I thought, oh, I love to wear suits. Whatever, like, you'll see it. And I said, like, oh, really? That's even going to be it. Oh,
it's like, we're paying you more money. You're playing with cooler people.
Exactly.
But I need you to wear some suits. I'd be like, sir, I got a closet full of suits. I love suits.
I have a lot of clothes.
Phone call. You should see all the suits I have.
And I was like, I have a glass box like this.
Yeah.
I have a glass box like this. I have all my watches in it. This stuff I learned it from like my dad and my brothers, because my dad was always dressed up and then all these things, and he was always teaching me. And now I'm doing it with my son. 2 years, man. 2 years and a month. He knows what time I leave the house. He comes and see me. He want cologne.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cologne. He shower, comes back after me. I want.
Yeah. It's good habits to start early.
Exactly.
Man.
And tell him he knows, like,
impression.
And he want to dress this, and he want to tell me, yeah, this is how I learn. So you're gonna be less. But you dress for success. Like you dress to impress. Because if you dress for success, it's actually make people impressed. You don't need to. So
we're back to the pajama thing again, right?
Yeah, there's like pajama things, and then I was like, okay, that's fine. He said, hey, I will send you an email, and then it will have a bunch of stuff, and then your resume already with these guys. They reviewing it. I thought, okay, that's fine. And then the next day, he called me back. He said, oh, these guys over there are very excited about you.
Don't fuck.
I said, no, he didn't tell me like this. You know what? He told me, I have a trust in you, because what I read over there, it's amazing. And I told him, there is no such a word in that one. I actually done.
Yeah, but too, those guys were having conversations about you with people they know.
Yes.
Before that, they're not just going off a single resume or like that.
They reach out.
There were people making phone calls behind all that.
I didn't really. I was like, who's this guy? Like, I don't know. And then they said, no.
They know you.
We just, because there is a website, you cannot enter it, and you cannot put any information or create account if you not at least have a top secret clearance. I'm still have a top secret with SCI. So they said, those guys, you need SCI. So you're going to be category 3. Category 3 is very high, like a high level. So I end up going there. I flew there. They fly me to Dubai and bound back again, back to my hometown. I landed in Baghdad airport too. And then I walked like this. And then I cleared custom, the passport. Believe it or not, 2 line. They said, hey, sir, you need to, line up here because I'm blue passport. You're a citizen. They don't know I speak Arabic. And I was like, so I walks in there in a long line. So a captain from the group comes out, He was a very good guy. And then he comes out. He reminded me about Hector Mene.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like Hector Mene. He comes out, and then the guys in front of me, all kind of nationalities, but I could see some of our, Americans, Black Africans and Asians and whatever, but they American, I hear them speak English with accent, but they're all of them contractors. So I didn't know what's the line for. So apparently that line, for them to get a stamp and get a visa, they have to pay $80 for the US citizen and then like $100 for a different nationality. You just pay that fee. So he comes out and then he starts, hey, and down, and he's telling them in this one. So call him in Arabic. Hey, what about me, man? He look at me like, and it's so what are you doing here? Ani Amriki. He looked and he said, oh shit, man, but you born here. Come on in. Don't worry about this. He said, come with me.
Membership has its privileges.
Yeah, he said, come with me. You're born here. So it's like the same law. He said, no, you're with me. You're right. Laminated that. He told me, where are you going? I told him, well, I'm coming here to work. He said, okay, because you're not visiting. No, man, I'm coming here and then you guys need me. I'm going to be helping you. He said, already? I told him, yeah, for sure. He understood right away. And then he put the laminate in. He gave me, they have something called something like an emergency or exogenous circumstances visa.
Okay.
It's like an emergency visa just to enter. So he laminated on me, on my things, and it's all in Arabic. I can read it, and he stamped my passport.
Good.
And I told him, okay, let me, so I pour money, 20s. And he said, what are you doing? You only $2. Pay $2. That's it, because you're born here. I told him, damn, there's a good discount. He said, no, man, you're born here. You come here anytime you want, even if you're an American. That doesn't matter. I told him, yeah, but I have all the 20s. He said, oh, man, don't worry about it. I pay it. And then he didn't even let me pay the $2, man. And I was like, oh, that's cool.
Little things.
Exactly. I mean, it was good. So, and he's a captain, 3 stars, because the immigration there, it's they graduate police academy as a lieutenant, and then they go up majors and colonels and all that. That's how they become managers. So walks out, grab my bags from the belt, and I walk to the door, and then I just boom get picked up by a 20-man security team. All this.
How did that feel? How did that feel being in the airplane?
It's like
looking. I mean, you left. You got that special immigrant visa, right?
Yeah.
You went to Austin.
I went everywhere. This was my first time for a long time.
You deployed with the army. You came back. You get out. You get picked up by this con. How did it feel landing back in Baghdad?
So I just was like.
Surreal. Were you excited?
So what I was is actually because I lived the way I explained to you from the beginning, you can feel that. I lived the stages. I could see the evolving. And then when the country was organized and normal, and we had even during the war in the 80s against Iran, everything's organized, and then you get to the war, the country go down, and then invasion, and then I go work, and then I travel, leave the country. Jump right away from, I didn't want to go out the country because I was thinking hey, people, if they go, I didn't see anybody was successful. So I said, I'm not going to set myself outside if I'm not going to be successful.
Right.
So the moment that I'm deciding to leave the country at that time, I will say, I only leave when this moment came in.
Yeah.
I already have a goal and everything's going to be worked out.
Yeah.
So I can succeed and improve yourself, because you don't want to fall back. You want to go up. So, I lived all these stages. And then now when I'm coming back, I said, I'm really excited to go and see new chapter of what kind of evolve I'm going to see after all this, what I saw. And now change completely. So I go out, and then I get picked up by a team with the tan pants, military boots, blue combat shirts, And then these guys, I looked at them like I'm very knowledgeable with the nationality because I work a lot for that. I looked at them, and no one from them is American. They all British, they all Australians, they all New Zealanders and all that. I said, oh, okay. And they came in, hey, it's Mr. Oday. I told me, sir, hey, sir, you come on with us. And then 2 guys with me, other 2 guys grab my suitcases and all that. And then I go up to the airport, and then I go to there's a build-up parking lot, like a table. I go up there, I get in, I look, 4 GXRs, Land Cruisers, up armors, tennis and all that and shit. I was like, okay, I read, they all plated. And then they took me, and then and I went there, and then I got out. I went inside the green zone. I know where we got up there because I used to pull security over there on this Bradley on that gate. And I was like, And then I was like, oh, this one. And when I was a kid, that bridge, I used to walk on it. So, and I go get some falafel and all that. This area, that's really nice. So I was like, wait a minute. And then when I was back there, we got blown up over there. We had so much stuff. So it's a lot of, Oh, and then down the road from that gate where we're pulling on the Bradley mean two guys is the Iranian embassy. So I know it's been there all the time, like it's in the 50s. So I get there and then we go, pretty fortified area. Shit, this looks like an embassy. And that's when I go there and I found one very fine guy. I love him. He's like one of the really nice guys, and another lady. Hey, we waited on you. They hugged me and all that, and they start showing me around everywhere and things about that. Said, hey, you're gonna be part of the team, and then it was like, the guy that met me, actually, he looks like one of those models, like the movies and all this stuff. Yeah, he was on his deep voice, but very, very good guys. And then that's when I end up with the NATO. So it was us, all the good
guys.
Yeah, end up with a very, very highly skilled team.
How was the tempo? Was it fast?
Fast tempo, and I loved it because I worked on my pace, and then sometimes gets really fast pace, and then you work, and it's amazing because as much as you there, and then you see situations where you have to be so fast, and then things going and moving, but your brain is like clear, and you never make mistakes. Never make mistakes. And then right away, I went back I said, hey, I spoke to these guys. I kind of talked to them. I told them, hey, I was here. This is what I was, this and that, this and that. They loved it that I'm coming from military background. A lot of them, they were in the military. And some of them, they were a special operation too. But they, in foreigners and all that. But they loved that I was the U.S. Army. So when they were stuck in on military things, whatever, I'm the one decoding this stuff. They don't know what is this. They don't know what is that. Hey, this is, and then one time the big guy told me, oh man, I love it you here. Fucking I told him, yeah. And you know what? I'm committed to the job. So I'm here, I'm working with you guys. Everything is the work. What are we doing? Yeah, we go eat dinner. Maybe we get invited sometimes to a different building, different party, whatever, and within it, because we're civilian. So we're not under General Order 1. Because when we were General Order 1, that's when you deploy as a U.S. soldier. You cannot drink, you cannot party, you cannot do any of this.
Right.
The only 2 beers you get at the Super Bowl. And your ass has to watch them in front of Sergeant Major at the door and put them in there.
Ridiculous, man.
And then, I'm a Muslim, so I don't drink. Check this out. Everybody behind me. Can I get yours?
Trying to slide it to you, right? Hey, man, I know you don't drink. Fucker, give me that too.
No, I swear they come in, hey, can we get yours? I tell them, do you know what I'm going to be standing, right? I guess the Sergeant Major was very good. Sergeant Major Ripley was good. He was from and then I was like, Adam, really? And you think I'm going to go, Sergeant Major, please, very, very good guys. Tall white guy with a mustache, and he's like cowboy and his cigar like that. Amazing guy. And I was like, he retired. You know where I'm going to be standing, right? And do you think I'm going to let Sergeant Major knows I gave you 2? You already gave you 2. That's the point. We don't want you to get drunk. we know you drink. Yeah, I know I drink because I pray and I'm Muslim, but I'm not going to give you the 2 beers.
Did you?
No, I'm not going to be like, come on. Yeah, a lot of them please, no, because you know why? Because it's not that I know Sergeant Major not going to say nothing because he's probably not going to know. But that's the point. We don't want you to get drunk. If I give you another one, we don't know what kind of activity you have. All of you has 2 4-9s and 2 4 Bravos and friggin' grenades and shit in your rooms. And,
yep.
Yeah. When I was when we went to Afghanistan, I had first one when they form up the transportation and the first sergeant came in. I remember formation, and I know, and then he said, he didn't call even the lieutenant or the platoon sergeant. He called me the first one. Oh yeah, I figured it out. So, you, the first one, Almamoori, you're the first one. Yeah, okay. I kind of figured it. And I know it's like, hey, it's like, and we used to go out, man, and it's like, because we were there doing security with the Air Force, looking to clear up coverts for IEDs and all that.
Mhm.
And then Highway 1 in Afghanistan is like, has a lot of convoys moving. And that time a lot of brigades was moving from fob to fob, and they closing fob. So you'll have all this transportation units moving, all this Abrams and Bradleys and Strikers and shit coming from Kandahar, from other places. And I remember one time we went out because I actually was, I think I was at the gym in the morning. No, actually that day was off. Yeah. So I went to the gym and then we ate breakfast and then we were at work, and like it close to dark, they called us. I said, hey, get ready. We need to leave now. Okay. Get ready. What's going on? I said, we're going to tell you on the radio. On the radio, we get off, charge we have a crow system. So the computer operator, 50 calls. So we pulled in, put it, I'm the one shooting, and there's another guy with me, my replacement. But when we get out, I leave the gun for him and I go out with the platoon leader, platoon sergeant.
Okay.
So I go up, and then the weapon system is amazing. That one, they train us for like 2 weeks, and it was really good. So you pulled in, we have a berm outside, we have to test fire everything. And then I go there, and then flip my 50 cal. Hey, I was a lead vehicle, so the front one. We used to have the plus ones. They were they equipped with everything. So we said, hey, we're gonna get those. They're gonna get those ones because it's kind of like protected. So I think we did have 7 of them, but we didn't use them, all of them. Max Pro Plus, that's what they call them. So we turn my gun like this, and then boop, my gun doesn't shoot. I looked at my replacement. What's wrong? Because he's the one loaded up the belt. He said, oh, there's nothing wrong. Go check it. So they told me, because I got to shoot first and move out. And then the second car pulled in, but me, the MRAB, and shoot. So I shot, because it's like a joystick. Yeah. And then you have a red button on the top. You laser the target. It laser is very good. So I was very careful because, I don't want to shoot somebody or whatever. So I look at Burn, and then they shoot. Like, he knows, like, I was very hardcore, but I'm also funny with him. Like, I don't give him a hard time. And he was my neighbor. We living together, and we're in the same rank. So I thought, hey, what happened up there? He said, no, nothing. I hey, get your ass up there, really check it, because we the first vehicle. So the other vehicle, everybody else is like, they thinking we still getting ready. Fiery. He popped it open, and then when you go up, me and him, we have the headset, and then the wire's very long, man. So you get up there, he goes there, and then and he said, hey, I need some help here. So I get up and I go up there with the headset. The fucker, he put the belts backward.
Oh, jeez.
That's why I didn't shoot. And then they said, hey, lead vehicle, what's going on? And I'm, hey, we have a malfunction. Stand by.
Stand by. We're clearing the dumbassery.
So what the hell is it? You put it back. No, so what happened is when you feed, have you seen the 50 cal?
Yeah.
So
left to right?
Exactly. So you, in the end, male and female.
Right.
They have the little ring, like the circle parts and metal.
Right.
So you have one male.
Right. And then you got
it goes in there. Okay. But when you.
Right. If I remember, if it's not set up like that, you got to break a round off, don't you?
Yeah. So you pull it, and then you break that's why. So that's how you get you break one.
Right.
So we already broke one. It's there for shoot right away, like to hook it up, and then so when you break the rounds, you have the 2 rings for the first round that you break.
Right.
That's the one you need to put in, and you close the gun.
Right.
So because the gun is on top and it has like the little feeder, like big belts and the both rounds. And so I'm, hey, let's eat. Luckily we go there, and you dumbass, you don't have like so it comes down, boom, lays, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, we got out, me and the lieutenant. We look, those guys call us, they have a broken loaded vehicle. So we had to take our MRV, which is like MRAB, but is a crane. It's a special to lift the MRAB. The MRAB is the one we have is 70,000 pounds. And then check my lead vehicle. I have mine roller. So when you because I'm certified to drive, so the driver go down, I can drive because we drove it, all of us. So when you turn, you got flip switch. So your my roller, and the my roller is 7,000 pounds. So we're already over 80,000 miles. I was like, I don't know how we move, man. Like one time we drove a cliff like that.
Oh, just wait for the little thing to collapse underneath you, right?
Yeah, we look like what?
Thanks.
We did like actually and went a lot of places. So we get to the highway and this vehicle broke in. So there was a couple guys with me. They were really, really badass guys. They get to, one of them was from the 82nd before, but he was with me. So they go hook up the MRV trying to recover the vehicle. And then these guys there, like, this is what they do here. You know how our police, well, something happened there.
Oh,
Then
yeah.
they shut down. They did the same thing.
For the Emirates.
They shut down the whole highway one. It's like, and that's everybody at the time they're going home. It's like 6 or 7, and it's dark in the winter. It's like I tell the lieutenant, why these guys doing that? He said, I guess they like security. They scared. I tell him, the United States. This motherfucker handle shit like that. So what they did too, there's when you drive Desert Boulevard and all stuff, like
Oh,
the
yeah.
side way, there's a side both on the highway. So I went on there, by the way, so I came out with my NVG. And then these guys told me, one of them, I forgot my NVG. I'm really, like, are you a soldier, man? Like, it's dark, we cannot see nothing. So luckily I have my NVG hanging. I put it's ready to go. And then I got out. I look and I see a bunch of rocks. So I go there and I kick him up, and I make her out and I flashlight the car. So I tell him, hey, come.
Yeah, let me go around a little side.
I tell him, you're going to be pissing off people, man. We don't have to deal with this. And then let them go that way. So we there and then nobody going to do anything with us. And then it goes like this. That's when somebody slowed down to me. He looked at me and he spin on. I'm like, dude, you spit on the wrong guy, man. And I thought, manana, thank you. And so they look at me like this, looking like this. I mean, I cleared the area when I got out. I look with my MVG, I see a house close to me. I see it on the second floor. They watching TV. I can see it through the window, like I said, hey, it's like, come on, man. Like, because people just sometimes scared. Like, I tell them, hey, you're not going to get killed, man, in every minute. You just need to keep your heads up, like, know what's going on.
That time when that contracting gig, how long did that last for?
Well, it was I was there 3 years.
3 years.
And they want it permanent. To the point they asked me, they said, can you leave the United States and come live in their country? And they told me, they offered me a lot of money, man.
Right.
Yeah. They offered me close to 400,000. So I told them it's lovely because I went to their country 5 times because we used to take people for training and I used to do training for them. So I told them, I wish I go, but I'm already established back in the US. So I already built a lot of stuff. I already have things there. So I don't really, and I was dating a girl. So I was like, I cannot really. So I cannot leave they said, it's fine. You can stay, live there. And then you still work with us. But I got to the point I said, no, I think I'm okay. I just need to come back and, settle down in a permanent job until I retire and then have a family. So I end up coming back, but you know what? Same situation. I finish up the job, clear up everything, and then I came back. That's what it is. And then it was an amazing experience, man. Like the stuff that I did.
Man.
The stuff that I did, and I was the only one Arabic speaker there, so I was because of that.
Yeah.
And then when I went there, they said, "Hey, you're different, man. You have like some work ethics. Nobody else have it." I told them, yeah, because I thought this is how everybody was supposed to do the right thing. So if you work, you should be committed to it.
Absolutely. Very simple.
It was amazing. And the guys was amazing, man. I seen so much stuff. I met a lot of stuff. I did stuff what nobody dreamed in doing it. I did stuff only it's like Jason Bourne and real stuff. And then real life world, crazy stuff. And then you do it and you'll see things. And then you imagine, I wonder how people will do if they see stuff like that. I seen so much, I seen a lot of my friends died. And I saw when you asked me about the interpreters, when they put these guys in this building, they were, I used to go there, visit them. Funny, they have a TV and there was playing music and all that. And then it happened that I met one of the guys there. And then I know him, I see him at my gym when I was high school. And I told him, hey, be careful, man, because we both live in the same hometown. He said, yeah, I already know. I don't go there anymore. I don't want to get killed. And one time we did a big operation. We called out, we had some strikers, and we sent out the MPs with the RAW clearance team to clear a big area, and we were going to clear it. and it was raining. I did the foot patrol that time, the mud everywhere here. And believe it or not, the day was really like, it was cold, it was raining, and we walking in the middle of the farms. We don't know, like, really who's going to come up and shoot you or an IED or something. Before we get there, route clearance team and the military police call us. They said they recover 11 IEDs. So it looks like they already know we were coming, or they were getting ready to do a defensive, And then in the end of that route, alongside the river, there's intersection like this one here outside for you. In that intersection, route clearance team clear it, nothing. MPs with them providing security turn around, the third one, bam!
Yep.
And it killed one of the interpreters. Him and the soldier next to him.
Mm.
That interpreter is named Eminem, like the rapper. He killed him. He didn't get back that day. He didn't get back. Two of them, him and the other soldier was sitting next to him. And yeah, it was it ripped off the Humvee. It was an IED hooked up to a car battery. Because that's how they were getting us. When we started putting all this warlocks and jamming machines and stuff, jamming devices, they cannot do the phone shit anymore.
Yeah.
They cannot do no wireless.
Pressure plates and everything else?
No, pressure plates, Afghanistan. Those guys, they were doing deep buried IEDs. And they dig them in the night. We cannot track them. Drones and all that in UAV, but we cannot fly it all the time. But they start running that very low energy coil wires. And they run this shit for 1,600 meters, 1 mile. And the trigger, man, you cannot, because we get hits, we start 360 degrees.
Yeah.
We're looking for everything. We had seen stuff, and then
that
we
guy's already back home by the time, right? Yeah.
You cannot. What they do, they in a canal, or they sit in something below, and you cannot see nothing, and they can just walk and go away. Very low one. One of the IEDs hit us in North Baghdad, killed 4. It was the driver, gunner, TC, and their interpreter. They all burned in the Humvee. It's like, and I remember the route called 76ers. I hated that route. Like the team,
basketball team.
Exactly. And we have another route called 49ers, like the football. That's how we're doing it. And this guy, man, like, it was 1,700, a little bit over 17. Because I remember we went the next day and we cleared the whole area. And I just went by the whole, like, freaking, took the whole Humvee. And they were MPs. They were hitting all of the MPs. They don't hit us, the infantry unit in there. Because the units in the sector, we know everything about it. And we have certain people we chasing. But mess with us because we were pretty clear. We have strikers and we have Bradleys and stuff. But they hit the MPs because the MPs coming in, call us. Hey, such and such, whatever, we crossing your AOR, and they go works with the Iraqi police, local police, the advisors team, and they hit them because they know they looks different. They're not from here. They don't know that much. But a lot of the stuff, man, it was like saddest stuff. But this is, I was like, this is a war. It could be any of us. We killed a lot of them too. So it's just like things happen, and it was not fun. Sometimes it was fun. One time we pulled out of the area, we were having a meeting, and then we hear on the radio, hey, by the time you guys get to the highway, we're already in a firefight. Another Bradley platoon, 2 Bradleys. We get to the corner, we turn, we have Arabs. I look from the window like this, and I call him up, hey, he's right there with freaking white t-shirts and white pants, whatever, behind the wall. And then I'm looking at him. He carrying an RPG, and he runs away from corner to corner covers. But there's an old man in front of the door like this. This guy disappear. Trying to see where is he at. He disappear. Comes back from the back of the old man. Boom! Shoot the RPG, and the old man jump like crazy. The rockets is the anti-armor one. The one has a freaking what is it? Like it's like a spikes and then it comes a spin like and comes like because I see the rockets coming to me like this, and I'm hey, this shit's coming because he shot it across the field, and it comes to me like this, and then boom, and hit the bottom in front of my window, but it didn't explode. Good. And I was like, and then my gunner start firing. And Tom, do you see something? He said, yeah, I saw the guy. I told me he fired at the guy. Nothing. It's too far distance, and we just heard a PKC, like a burst. I'm about fucking hit the window right in my gunner face. I come, how did he like get this thing? She said, I don't know. I may sit down. And then we were like in this firefights, man, for like about 30 minutes to an hour. And then we went home and then we rested and whatever. And then we came back again to help the commandos. And we were in that firefight from 4 o'clock in the afternoon until the next morning at
Ooh.
5. I had only a bottle of Gatorade and a bag of chips. That's all what I had. They were in the back of my Humvee. I said, I don't know. So I ate them. And I was like, these guys, they were like firing at us. And then the commandos talking to them on the phone. And I hear them, he telling us, hey, you guys need to go. You don't need to help the American. Just go away. Don't be here. So we end up calling Apaches, and the Apaches start waving, like going down to just scared because they start shooting. But we also, the house has like kids and women and all that, but they don't care. So it was a lot of crazy stuff. So when I went back again, it's completely different on high level, targeting, high level operation, and also the enemy evolved. So when we went there, it was ISIL. There was some of pockets of Al Qaeda, but it was mainly ISIL. And ISIL was controlling territories like, part of Syria, part of Iraq. And they have, unfortunately, all the weapons we gave them, all the tanks. And I was feeling sad when we were blowing up all these howitzers and Abrams we gave to the Iraqis because ISIL hasn't. We had to blow them up because ISIL driving the tank. Yeah.
Looking back, you've had a lot of people impact your life, and you've impacted a lot of other people's lives, right? You've got some real good friendships that are left out there. Are you keeping up with anyone?
Yeah, like a lot of we still sometimes communicate on Facebook, believe it or not, I run to some of them, like, some of the guys that I actually met, like some of the guys that we actually got blown up together and whatever. And then, I saw them later, like one of the guys with me, we got blown up down south of Baghdad in Saidi. And I was just there helping because they asked the commander, they told me, hey, can you come with us? We need somebody, like we need some good help. So we end up there, and then we drove by and I see a body laying down. There was a lot of killing. The body wearing like a tank top and a short. And I still remember, I think the eyes was tight. It was a little bald guy. And then wherever they tied with it fell down. But he's laying down in the streets. And then his left arm, because I still remember the picture, his left arm, the body's complete. Left arm, nothing, just the bone, like a skeleton, just the bone. So I stopped the convoy. I'm, hey, wait a minute, this is a body there. So we stopped the convoy across the street, dismounted, pulled security. I told him, hey, one of them come with me. So that guy went with me. He was the squad leader. We went, knocked the door on one of the houses. So some guy came up and said, hey, can I help? They scared because they're going to kill them if they give us any information. So, hey, man, what's up with this guy, the body right there laying down? He said, oh man, this poor guy, they threw him yesterday. I think they killed him somewhere else and they threw him here. And all night, the dogs was eating his arm. So that's how they So I walked back. There's a jersey, like a jersey barrier in the middle, not that high, like in the street. I crossed it. I came. The body's right there. I looked at the body. You need the big guts to look at the stuff. But I seen kids burned up and then bloated like this, and the trash and all that. So I look like this. I have this gut feeling. I grow that things. My gut's feeling tell me there's something wrong here, and it never failed me. It's always there's something. So I feel I look like this. The body. When I'm looking at the body, some guy pulled in a car. It's really weird. Get out of the car, comes talk to the other guys with me and tell them something. I said, okay, he's gonna tell them probably about the body. Gets in the car, leave. There was a guy next to me, Watson. And then Watson's like a short, funny, like a Kevin Hart guy, black guy. And then he's like always funny and all this stuff. And he was a sergeant. And then he's next to me. And I look at this body, I look around, and the two sergeants with me, that guy, and then and another guy with me, so tall guy. I told him, hey guys, let's pull back. They said, why? I told him, there's something wrong here. There's somebody played with this site. There's something not good. There's a building going up with the V-bed right in front of the building because it's trash. I just don't feel good. There's something here. I don't know what it is, but somebody played this. There's something there. Turn around like this and in my back. And then the two guy, the guy, the tall side to turn, they hit him right here. Watson was there. Watson took. So this is a streets going like, east west and then east and then west east, like a. Watson next to me. I don't know what happened, but I think the wind shifted more of the concussion, or Watson took off running. You know, if you put a dog like a tail and then you feel the fire, he runs. I look at Watson, took off running, you know. Luckily, I got back to it so quick. Took off running like 50 meters, like the lion. He go there, jump the Jersey barrier, come back to the Humvee, throw his helmet like this and lay down and start like a seizure on the blower's ear. Oh my God. And then these guys told me, hey, they said, yeah, man, you are right. And this guy bleeding, but he's luckily good. Then we just don't need to be here. Probably that guy was talking to us. He already knows. He just kind of like gave a hands up to the trigger man. That guy was with his wife. We go back to the Humvee across the street, trying to take off. Humvee doesn't want to move. What the hell is the Humvee? We look in the side, the shrapnel went in the engine. And then check this out. Hey, we cannot move nowhere. We cannot move into Humvee because it's not, well, it's there before. And then we cannot leave that Humvee here. And I remember my driver was our medic, 68 Whiskey. He's a Native American, you know, very, very funny guy, Brad. I still remember him. He said, what are you doing here? We were with the 118 Vanguard. It was a 180 first big red brigade, first armor. No, first brigade infantry. I was like, what are you doing here? I said, dude, you know, I'm a native. We don't pay taxes. We freaking have casinos, and my mom and dad banking so much money, and I'm playing games and all that. And my mom came in. She said, "You don't want to do something with your life?" I told Mom, "We getting money from taxes and all this stuff. We don't need that." She said, "No, man, you gotta be a man. You gotta have some values." So what do you to do? She said, "I don't know. Get your ass to the army. Go to the army. Do something." I said, so I went to the army. Yeah. It was funny. So we end up call. They send us AOD to clear the site, and they send us a Bradley because they didn't have, everybody's out. So we end up riding in the Bradley and then going like freaking all over.
Just tow those two Hummers back?
We tow one. No, one of them is messed up.
Okay.
The lead vehicle. The other three, they were okay. So we end up taking all the Bradley back, clear it, and then when we got to the base, they said, "Hey, where are you guys going? You need to go to the clinic. They're gonna have to check you out because you already got hit." Like, and that shit happened to me, I think happened to me 3 times.
More than enough.
3 times in dismount. Yeah. The other one killed the guy next to me. Yeah, rip him off. I don't know how I got out of it. I cannot really recall, but I remember I used to wear an X large vest, so it cover my belly here because I wear medium, but you're gonna have a lot of space. While I wear X large, will cover you. I don't know how we got out of this because the guy in front of me from the Iraqi commandos he was the gunner with the PKC, so he was the squad automatic weapon, and then I was me and him in the same distance, like it's me and it's him, the Dumbo, and he went off like that. When I turned, I felt somebody push me like this, and then the Humvees behind us, we were in front of the Humvee. That guy in front of me got killed, and I was like, and I was just talking to him. Another one, we went back and then on the streets, and the guys I was just laughing with them, they load up they have Chevys and GMCs. They load up in the back. We driving right there behind them, and the IED between us. I literally watched that guy. He was laughing with me, flew in the air and then went down. And then it's all his head is like, you know, 2 of them got killed in that one. It's right, like we were very close. So this is the Chevy, and we were right there. And then it went off right here.
Right in the middle.
In the middle. But because they in the soft vehicle, and they were sitting in the back of it. The guys in the front, they got hurt a little bit, maybe, you know, with the glass and all that, but the guys actually got hurt. We end up getting off the vehicle and raid all the houses around the IED because we were like, hey, you must be knowing who put this stuff there. So he's like, that's the problem.
What do you see moving forward, man, in the future for you? You're gonna keep looking for opportunities. I mean, you're married now. You got a 2-year-old kid.
I mean, this is something like my sisters. They were like, telling me, we never thought you're gonna have a kid, like, you know. But it's like, yeah, you know what, this happened, and then he's just another copy of me. So I was like, okay. They said, like, you know, I said at least, like, you know, I say I will, because all my brothers and sisters, I think I got count because my son is, let me see. So my brother has 4. The other one 5, that's 9. My other sister has 4, 13, 2, there's 15, and 3, 18, and then, hold on, I miscount. But I believe my son is number 20 in the family.
Jesus.
Yeah, and my nephews and nieces. Yeah, because one of my brothers had 5 boys. They're all grown up.
Okay.
Yeah, one of them, I think, one of them I lost contact with him, but he was when I was there, he was Iraqi special operation, the SOF, the guys we train, the RSF train. And last things I heard, I know he got off and went to Turkey, because when the last things when I saw him, I was still working there. He told me, I don't like it anymore because now all the Shia militia and all the stuff, the government is trying to control us because they saying, oh, you work for the Americans. But when I know he took his wife and kid and got out to Turkey. But last time I spoke to my sister, supposedly they heard he's in California, because I know he was trying to come here. So I think he's in California, but I haven't made any contact with him. But yeah, I was like, my eldest brother has 4. The next one has 5. That's 9. My other brother after that has 3. So 4, 5, 9, 3. That's 12. My other sister has 2. That's 14. My other sister has 4. That's 18. And yeah, and then this one is 19. So it's like, I was like, okay, yeah, but it's good. He's going to grow up here. I want to see if I can give him up. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get, because I want to.
Kids are sponges when it comes to language.
I want to send him up to maybe follow the same route I did, but I don't mind him going to the military or doing whatever he wants. But definitely I want to put some values to him, because I don't want him to grow like, the generation now is not that really, into the country. And then, yeah, it's just indoctrinated towards the wrong side, like, so I don't want him to be like this. But I want him to have a lot of opportunity if I could give him as much as I can. I mean, I'm going to take care of him, I'm sure. And then he was going to have a free school from me and all this stuff. But I also want him to work for this stuff, because this is how, we learn. So he appreciates this stuff.
Yeah, your kid's not going to be going to college with pajamas on, right?
Hell no.
Well, this was cool, man. This was a cool conversation. I've known you for a long time, and I learned more about you today. So really appreciate you coming out here this early in the morning, man. And yeah, maybe in the future, man, we'll sit down. Maybe we'll talk about some of the other stuff, man.
Yeah,
maybe just have a 30-minute long conversation every now and then, man, just to talk about some of the crazy shit. Maybe I'll get a certain part of the podcast devoted to certain guests about just telling us little stories.
Yeah. No, but thank you for having me. It was a good opportunity to talk and have a good conversation.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, to me, I think it's a fantastic story, going from Iraq, United States, then back, and then everything you're doing in the middle now. And I hope you're feeling healthy with the way things are slowing down now. They're not getting an itch to get back into it.
Yeah.
Because
it's like,
it's tough, man, to give up that life, right?
Yeah.
And now that you're home, you're settled. Yeah. I know your ethic. I mean, we can stay as busy as we want, or we can stay as slow as we want. So I'm honored to know you, man. I'm so glad that you came out here.
Thank you very much.
And, and did this for us. So thanks,
and
man.
I tell you the truth, sometimes when I scroll and I see the jobs, and I was like, especially
stop scrolling.
Very nice 3-letter agencies.
Stop it.
This is like not even half of what I do. Oh, I gotta look after this boy, I gotta, so I cannot leave them by themselves. But I said, yeah, that's okay. My part's good. So, but I still want to do, more. But I tell you, it's like America need immigrants. This is the immigrants type that America need.
Yes, sir.
Because you want to bring somebody. This is the type of immigrants who build America. Because like not the type of people now, they come in and trying to just get a better life, but they take advantage of the system they don't want to put into it. Because we all know our system we all have to work to help in it so we can get back, when you need to. But I always consider myself a very good example of immigrants in the United States. And I think that's how it's supposed to be. But you should love the country. You should have some affiliation, because when I did all this stuff, I want to say, you know what? I want to pay back something that it's not the money. I never really cared about the money, as long as I tell you I eat and then I dress and,
Yeah.
God bless you, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Beautiful.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey guys, thanks. This is episode 12. We are feet dry. We are return to base. We're going to have some links looked up for you. I need you guys to go ahead and share this episode. Oday and his story deserve it. So once again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next episode. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.